the job. You're so afraid of saying anything.
Right. Well, you always have to be careful because the plaintiff's bar has made it that way. The reality, though, is that women are standing up now in the last 6 months to a year and saying, me too. And I think that's the difference, because as you see each of these industries go with these disclosures, whether it's Hollywood or some other industry, now you're seeing the government. And now if the government, who enforces and makes laws, if they won't lead on this, then I got to tell you, we're in the space of the hypocrisy bucket, if you will.
Grassley said it's, if this law isn't working, you should revise it, change it. I mean, I guess after the Packwood thing, they thought this was actually going to accomplish something. But why did it take so long for this to get so much notice? It's just Harvey Weinstein and all the other stuff swirling around. I guess it's just what people are talking about. So now, like, okay, Congress, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think that may be some of it, and now we're getting a little bit of light shed on it. Until a week and a half ago, I didn't even know this fund existed. But I tell you what, it's intimidating. If you're a woman who truly has been harassed by a member of Congress, you need to be able to address that and to have it handled, not be told you must go to counseling, you must go to mediation, we're going to have you sign an NDA, you can never tell anyone. It's all designed to shame the woman. Whether they intend to or not, you wind up shaming the victim. And I understand also you've got to make sure.
Harvey Weinstein went around trying to get non-disclosures too, right?
Yeah.
Well, he paid a lot of money.
Yeah, he paid
also.
a lot of money.
Well, and
and let's not forget, men and young boys have been
victimized here,
abused, and oftentimes this happens in Hollywood, but not only Hollywood. Right. It happens in the theater. And I've been hearing about this for a long time. We're talking about Congress because, we're here in Washington and they're the ones supposed to be the lawmakers. But this is across the board. And it's people in positions of power who usually have some problem within themselves. They're either they have no self-esteem, or their father didn't love them. I don't know what it is, but they don't know how to treat people. And maybe, just maybe, we'll learn how to treat people better.
Well, that transparency that transparency that we're talking about, and Congresswoman Spire's talking about, is going to make it uncomfortable. This is a place of power. Careers are made or lost, and so you've got to make it a safe space for women and men who are victimized by sexual harassment to come forward, to be protected, and quite frankly, if there is transparency, I think you'd see less bad behavior.
There are people who make false charges. That does happen. And you can't just say anyone who makes a charge, we're going to throw laurels around your neck. I mean, it's not necessarily the case. I mean, you do have a presumption of innocence. And sometimes I think in this climate, it's so white hot. I'm not talking about Roy Moore. I'm talking just in general. It's so white hot that if a woman who seems fairly credible makes a charge, your career's over. Yeah, your career's over.
You have to allow people, if you've been accused of it, you have to be given the opportunity to defend yourself and to clear your name. And you can't just try everything in the court of public opinion. There has to be a proper process.
And is that where the confidentiality comes into play? Well, I mean, are you going to go into Congress and have all these interns running around if you think that, my gosh, at any moment, I open the door for someone, or I'm going to be accused of being demeaning or you got to be careful how you do this, because you could go way overboard on the other side.
But one way to address that issue is, as a former sex crimes prosecutor, we would require corroboration. I mean, the cases where it's one person's word against another, there's no scientific evidence, there's no corroboration whether there was more than a sexual touching or not, it still has to be corroborated. And I think that standard would be good in Congress, too, because then you'd have that balance, if you will, because the congressmen want to get reelected, okay? They don't want bad press, and they don't want to have to go defend their conduct.
I have a question about that with the sex crimes. In how many cases, where it's usually men, of course, are accused of sex crimes, domestic abuse, is substance abuse involved? How often?
You know what? Quite a bit. I mean, you're testing my memory, but I would say not the majority, but at least over 50%.
Really, not the majority, I would say.
Well, over 50%. I just don't know how much. But there are other socioeconomic factors that come into play. And the other thing is getting women to come forward and prosecute if the father and the husband is the top breadwinner or is needed at home with the kids. I got to tell you, some women in that position just don't feel like they have many choices, and they drop charges against the very people who have abused them.
Well, and a lot of times abuse is simply about power. It's not about substance abuse. It's not even about sex. It's about power, raw power.
You guys, great to see you. Thanks for coming in tonight.
Thank you.
And directly ahead, new fallout in the Roy Moore scandal. How will Alabama voters deal with Washington meddling in the state Senate race? Plus, Roy Moore just addressed this controversy moments ago. We'll play you the tape.
Liberty Mutual saved us almost $800 when we switched our auto and home insurance.
With Liberty, we could afford a real babysitter instead of your brother. Oh, that's my robe.
Is it? You could save $782 when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Everybody has sunglasses, but most sunglasses make things darker and are useless when it comes to blinding glare. Not these. Nick Bolton here with the latest from Bell & Howell. We call them tack glasses. Inspired by the sunglasses worn by our heroes in uniform, tack glasses can do things no ordinary sunglasses can do, like block blinding glare so well, invisible objects suddenly become visible. Enhance colors to give you vision as sharp as an eagle's and survive even the harshest conditions. Look, ordinary sunglasses just make things darker, which could be deadly in a tactical situation. But tack glasses improve optical clarity, so you can see clearly even in low light. If you've never seen how this light filtering technology works, check this out. Nothing to see, right? But look again as we hold up our tack glasses. A colorful American eagle is revealed. Amazing.
Look at the screen.
Yes.
What do you see?
I see a white screen.
Just a plain white screen.
Now look at it through our sunglasses. Whoa, this is cool.
How does it do that? That is so awesome.
What? Oh my. Whoa, what? That is so cool.
That is amazing. How's it do that?
It's like an eagle pops out of nowhere.
Very, very cool.
Whether you're on the trail or on the golf course, on the water or on the slopes, with tack glasses, you'll always see clearly without any glare. There's just nothing like them on the market today.
Act now to get your tack glasses for just $19.99, and we'll even ship it to you free. Plus, every pair of tack glasses comes with our Bell & Howell lifetime guarantee. But wait, order today and we'll also include a blank card that reveals our American Eagle when you put on your tack glasses. So don't delay. Order yours today.
To order, call 1-800-594-8441. That's 1-800-594-8441, or order online at trytackglasses.com. 1-800-594-8441.
Now you can have everything. One of America's safest crossovers, well equipped for under $24,000. Get $3,000 cash back and make no payments for 90 days or 0% for 84 months.
Previewing the critical tax vote. Is reform a sure thing, or could the bill crumble in the House? Doug Collins breaks down the GOP's numbers on the next Fox News at Night.
Mary and Shirley both need oxygen. Shirley lost her freedom the day she went on oxygen, but Mary has the brand new ultra-compact Inogen 1 G4 oxygen concentrator from Inogen. It's the smallest and lightest model we've ever made. Shirley is forced to miss out on everyday activities. Mary fully enjoys her life. Shirley has to wait for tank deliveries and worries about running out of oxygen. But Mary's Inogen 1 G4 makes its own oxygen, so she'll always have the oxygen she needs anytime, anywhere. Shirley finally listened to Mary and now has more freedom too. It's time for you to reclaim your freedom and independence with the Inogen 1 G4. Act now to start your 30-day risk-free trial. This is a limited time offer, so don't wait and don't accept substitutions. The sooner you call, the sooner you can say goodbye to heavy oxygen tanks for good and reclaim the freedom and independence you deserve. Call now for your 30-day risk-free trial.
Call 800-914-7313.
I'm the only one that can unite Democrats and Republicans. Because I seem to be opposed by both. They've spent over $30 million trying to take me out.
Those comments from Roy Moore just moments ago after an eventful and chaotic day in the Alabama Senate race. The Republican National Committee has announced it is withdrawing support for Judge Moore's candidacy and pulling out of a joint fundraising agreement for the Alabama special Senate election. And this is all in response to multiple allegations now that Moore had made unwanted sexual advances toward teenagers back in the 70s. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is even floating the idea of Attorney General Jeff Sessions returning to his old Senate seat.
The Alabamian who would, fit that standard would be the Attorney General, who's totally well known and extremely popular in Alabama. I've spoken with the president He called me from Vietnam largely about this on Friday. I talked to General Kelly on Saturday and the Vice President yesterday. Obviously, we're in discussion here about how to salvage this seat if possible.
But it's not all bad news for Judge Moore. Alabama Republican Party Chairwoman Terry Lathan has not turned on Moore yet and told local media yesterday, quote, "It would be a serious error for any current elected GOP official or candidate to publicly endorse another party's candidate, an independent or a third-party candidate or a write-in candidate in a general election as well," close quote. And a new poll from Fox 10 in Alabama shows Moore leads his Democratic opponent, Doug Jones, by 6 points. Joining us now for reaction in Birmingham is Alabama's Secretary of State John Merrill, in New York, conservative commentator Monica Crowley, and here with me in Washington is Catherine Mangu Ward, who's editor-in-chief of Reason magazine. Great to see all of you. Monica, let's start with you. This has been a wild few days on this Roy Moore situation. You got the establishment types turned on him pretty fast, but then you had Mike Lee in Utah, senator from Utah. You had Ted Cruz. And now my colleague Sean Hannity says basically you have 24 hours to clear up the discrepancies in your statements. How can Roy Moore possibly hang in under these circumstances?
I'm not sure he can, Laura. I mean, there's certain political realities at play here, and gravity does tend to kick in, especially when the money starts to disappear. The RNC pulled the funding as well as the field operation that they were going to implement to get out the vote for Roy Moore. With those two things missing, Laura, I don't see how he's able to survive. It doesn't sound tonight like he's willing to go anywhere yet, but when these realities start to kick in over the next 24 hours, when the money disappears, you know, you can't run a campaign on fumes or love. That, I think, is when the hard choices are going to come in front of Roy Moore, when he doesn't have the institutional support to continue this campaign.
Let's go to the Secretary of State, John Merrill. John, what happens if the election is held and those absentee ballots are left over if, in fact, Roy Moore steps aside, the party relinquishes any connection to Roy Moore? Do the absentee ballots still count in that case?
Well, Laura, they do, and I think it's very important for your viewers to note that our people have been voting since October the 18th. That's when the absentee ballots first went out for consideration and for our voters to be able to have their opinion known and have their voice heard. And that's not just the UOCAVA military overseas voters, that's a number of voters throughout the entire state of Alabama. I think it's important to note that if Judge Moore withdraws from the campaign or if the state party disavows their association with Judge Moore and determines that they no longer support him, and both of those actions have to take place formally by them indicating to our office that they no longer wish to pursue the candidacy of Judge Roy Moore in the U.S. Senate, that even though Judge Moore's name will still be on the ballot, if he gets the most votes as a plurality winner on December the 12th, then our election will be null and void.
Catherine, now Mitch McConnell is saying perhaps they won't seat him, or that once he's in, if he gets elected, indeed gets elected, that they'll move to remove him. Now, if you're someone in the South and, you maybe haven't followed this much and maybe you think Roy Moore will like dating 17-year-olds or 18-year-olds, it might come across to you as this is the old guard telling the Southerners they're stupid, bunch of yahoo hayseed types, and they might just be like, you know something? He's seated. This is just another example of the elites kicking people like us around.
I mean, I think this is Congress reaping the fact that they are wildly unpopular. Congress has like a 19% approval rating right now. That high? I know. It sounds almost...
To cover for these folks. And you're seeing it now happening on both sides. And that's why I think in the Roy Moore situation, in many ways, he is going to be a casualty of this moment. And whereas perhaps he may have survived. Look, Donald Trump, in the tail end of the campaign with the Access Hollywood tape, he was able to sort of harness a boomerang effect where people felt that that was a pile-on and they came out and rallied around him. But Donald Trump was an exceptional figure, and I'm not so sure that Roy Moore is going to be able to do it. That's right.
Moore is not Donald Trump. Secretary of State, I just want to just close out with you. In your estimation right now, I know you're still kind of standing behind Roy Moore. Does he stay in this race, and does he get elected?
Well, I think it would be highly unusual for Judge Moore to step aside. That would be against every type of example that he has set. I don't see him getting out of the race. I think the party of, well, I'll tell you, it's going to be extremely close, Laura. And I hear mixed reviews all around the state of Alabama. This is a very disconcerting time for our state, and this is not the way we like to be featured in the national limelight. I assure you.
No, I can't imagine. Thanks for joining us, John. And I'm going to hold over Catherine and Monica because President Trump just a short time ago returned to Washington after that very long 12-day, 5-nation Asia trip, where America's trade deals were a major topic. And I guess we're going to go right to it right now.
Very proud of it. From a standpoint of security and safety, military, very proud, and trade, you will see numbers that you won't believe over the years. Because over a period of years, they will be treating us much differently than they have in the past. People were taking advantage, countries were taking advantage of the United States, more than just this region, but the world. And those days are over. We're going to be fair. We're going to be reciprocal. As I said in my remarks before, we will be reciprocal, meaning if they're doing it, we're doing it.
Catherine, what did you think about this trip? Give us your assessment.
So my overall assessment is I'm glad that the president didn't do anything that isn't fundamentally reversible, that is something that can't be papered over later, because there was a real risk that he was going to make good on his campaign promises, go to Asia, and just light the whole thing on fire.
What do you mean?
Well, he's been quite clear that he doesn't like the status quo in terms of U.S. trade agreements in Asia. And
you like the status quo?
I like the status quo.
Which part of $360 billion trade deficit do you like?
I'd like more to have more trade. I'd like to have more open trade. I think the idea of thinking about it in terms of deficits is wrongheaded. We absolutely benefit from trading with other countries.
Because you can buy a $7.99 pair of pants?
Absolutely.
And so to hell with the American workers back here, it doesn't matter.
A $7.99 pair of pants really
to change fundamentally change the country?
I don't think it fundamentally changes the country. We're a country founded on
free trade. So you don't have a problem with our enriching?
Founded on
every president, almost every president put in effect tariffs. Republican presidents, Democrat presidents,
and
Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, Ronald Reagan.
When their goal was to get a kind of one-upsmanship on other nations.
You don't think America should have a one-upsmanship attitude toward other nations?
No, I think we should have a cooperative attitude, and I think if they want to sell us stuff, we should be allowed to buy it.
But you don't think bilateral trade agreements are better for policing them and for making sure they're actually enforced? What's wrong with that?
I would take any trade agreements. What I don't want to see is us pulling back from the world at a time that we are anxious and we are not necessarily going to make the right decision about what's right for workers and for
I see what Catherine's saying, but I don't see any indication, frankly, that Donald Trump is pulling back from the rest of the world. My gosh, he went to Saudi Arabia, Israel, went to see the Pope, did the trip to Europe. He's gone to Asia. I mean, I think his foreign trips, frankly, have been pretty successcdon't especially the trip to visit our NATO allies and the first trip to Saudi Arabia. And I think this trip turned out great. I don't get the grousing about this.
I totally agree, Laura. And I think, in some ways he's much more effective when he's abroad rather than at home. His speeches abroad have been absolutely magnificent. And what he was able to accomplish on this Asia trip has been quite extraordinary. What we're hearing is behind closed doors, this president applied a lot of pressure on the Chinese leadership. And there were two main issues that he was there to discuss. We're talking about trade and the structural trade imbalance with the Chinese that has been in place now for decades and it's going to be incredibly difficult to reverse. But what the president is saying is, look, I need to deal with the structural trade imbalance. I'm going to do it via economic and trade policy tools and instruments.
And he also turned up the heat, Monica, on North Korea and told the Chinese, we need your help. We need real help. And yet we're not going to be patsies on the trade deal. We want to work with other nations. We want to trade with them. We want to have relationships with them.
That's right.
Apparently the only country, the only country we can't have a relationship with is Russia. Because the Chinese communists are great, but the Russians are the worst. So every time someone says we should do more with China, I say, okay, then why shouldn't we work more with Russia? Because of Bob Mueller, I guess.
And to that point, Laura, what the president was able to do, and we'll see whether this really bears fruit. But what was so effective is he coupled the North Korean cooperation on North Korea with the economic policies.
All right, both of you, we could talk forever about this. Thank you so much for joining us. And when we return, Jeff Sessions grilled on Capitol Hill today, and a special counsel may be appointed to investigate Hillary Clinton. Really? Stay tuned.
What's it going to take, if all that, not to mention the dossier information, what's it going to take to actually get a special counsel?
Whether it's new business or new romance, these are the designer moments. Now at Men's Warehouse, save up to 60% on designer suits, plus buy one, get one free on select items. This November, join Men's Warehouse in donating to fight men's health issues.
Diamonds, their lowest prices ever. Certified half-carat rings just $675, 1 carat $17.90, and larger $29.50 per carat. Thousands of GIA diamonds at insane prices, plus over 50% savings on custom designs. Buy direct, the Jewelry Exchange.
At the end of the day, there's nothing better than a glass of wine, especially that first sip. The taste is so important, and wine just doesn't taste as good a day after it's been opened. What if you didn't actually have to open the bottle at all? With my Coravin, I never need to pull the cork. I simply insert the needle, tip, and pour. The cork reseals to preserve the rest of the bottle for months or even years. At home, relaxing with a glass of wine or entertaining friends, just insert, tip, and pour. Buy Coravin at these fine retailers.
Look how beautiful it is.
Honey, we need to talk.
We do. I took the trash out.
I know, and thank you so much for that. I think we should get a Medicare supplement insurance plan.
Right now?
Whether you're new to Medicare or not, you may know it only covers about 80% of your Part B medical expenses. It's up to you to pay the difference. So think about an AARP Medicare supplement insurance plan, insured by United Healthcare Insurance Company. Like all standardized Medicare supplement insurance plans, they help cover some of what Medicare doesn't pay.
I did a little research. With a Medicare supplement plan, you'll be able to stay with your doctor.
Oh, you know, I love that guy.
These types of plans let you visit any doctor or hospital that accepts Medicare patients, and there are no networks.
Is this a one-size-fits-all kind of thing?
No, there are lots of plan options. It all depends on what we need and how much we want to spend.
Call now to request your free decision guide. It could help you find an AARP Medicare supplement plan that's right for you.
What happens when we travel?
The plans go with us, anywhere in the country.
I like that.
You know what else? United Healthcare Insurance Company has years and years of experience. What do you say?
I'm in.
Join the millions already enrolled in the only Medicare supplement insurance plans endorsed by AARP. Remember, all Medicare supplement plans help cover some of what Medicare doesn't pay and could really save you in out-of-pocket medical costs. You'll be able to choose your own doctor or hospital as long as they accept Medicare patients. And with these plans, there could be low or no copays.
You do your push-ups today?
Prepare to be amazed.
Don't wait. Call today to request your free decision guide and find the AARP Medicare supplement plan to go the distance with you. Go long.
Honey, can we do this tomorrow?
Can we do this tomorrow?
If you have heart failure symptoms, your risk of hospitalization could increase, making tomorrow uncertain. But Entresto is a medicine that was proven in the largest heart failure study ever to help more people stay alive and out of the hospital than a leading heart failure medicine. Women who are pregnant must not take Entresto. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren. If you've had angioedema while taking an ACE or ARB medicine, don't take Entresto. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high potassium in your blood.
Tomorrow, tomorrow.
When can this again, Grandpa?
Well, how about tomorrow?
Ask your doctor about Entresto and help make tomorrow possible.
Welcome back. As we've been reporting, after years of rumors, comedian Louis C.K. has finally admitted to sexual misconduct. In the fallout, C.K. was dropped from performing at Jon Stewart's annual Night of Too Many Stars. It's a charity event which benefits autism programs. Stewart, a longtime friend of CK's, was out promoting the event today. Throughout his entire career, remember, Louis C.K. told filthy, disgusting sexual jokes, touching on his own proclivities. Yet Jon Stewart offered this response when questioned on the Today Show.
What was the impact on you when you heard not only the accusations, but his admission?
Stunned, I think. You give your friends a benefit of the doubt.
You were stunned about the accusations and revelations? Really, John? I heard the man's act for 3 minutes and knew he was a total perv. Comedians joked about his habits for years, and rumors of his misdeeds have been reported since back in 2012. So I guess Mr. Daly Show wasn't as well informed as we all thought. The only thing I can support is his autism fundraiser, which is great. And as for Louis C.K., he was dealt another setback today. International distributors announced that they were joining their American counterparts and dropping distribution of his latest movie, I Love You, Daddy, which is another filthy thing. And I'm sure it'll be available on his website soon, so all the dirty old men who chase underage girls can have a good laugh. What a degenerate. Attorney General Jeff Sessions was in the hot seat today, testifying before the House Judiciary Committee. Republicans wanted to know why the Justice Department hasn't investigated Hillary Clinton scandals. And as for the Democrats, surprise, surprise, they spent their time focusing on Mr. Sessions' past statements about meetings with, wait for it, Russians, and his private conversations with President Trump.
You made statements that he did, in fact, at the meeting. I pushed back. You know that. I can't be able to be put in a position where I can't explain.
I'm asking you.
I'm not going to be able to answer if I can't answer completely.
Did Donald Trump ever ask you to pledge an oath of loyalty to him?
No.
If Donald Trump were to ask you to pledge loyalty to him or to take such an oath, would you do so?
Well, I don't know what a pledge of a loyalty oath is. I met with the ambassador in my office with at least 2 of my staff, senior respected patriots, colonels retired in the Army, and
Mr. Attorney
nothing
General,
improper occurred at all.
Once and for all, can we answer the question?
I am once and for all answering the question, Congressman. I don't understand why you won't take my answer.
Joining us now for reaction is a member of that House Judiciary Committee, Andy Biggs, a Republican from Arizona. I often think about, what I would do if I remember Congress and I had to be at these hearings, Congressman. But this kind of took the cake. I mean, Jeff Sessions sitting there, and basically every 5 seconds from a Democrat, you're basically lying, Senator Sessions, Attorney General Sessions. You really met with the Russians. Are you really part of the collusion? Give us a sense inside that room today.
No, you're exactly right. So it showed the stark difference between the Republicans who are trying to get the Attorney General to do something, appoint a special counsel to investigate, and the Democrats who they're fixated on trying to paint him as some kind of lying colluder with Russia. I mean, with no evidence. It's just amazing to me.
And by the way, we invited Sheila Jackson Leon, but apparently she was involved in a late-night briefing on the tax reform bill, so maybe they're going to come all along with you guys on tax reform.
It could happen.
Yeah, so and we invited a bunch of other Democrats because he wanted to have both sides on the show tonight, so I have to say that. Let's talk about that flashpoint today, and then we'll play the soundbite. This was Congressman Jim Jordan, who was on with us last night. And I think this was probably, to some people, that President Trump is pressuring Congress to do a special counsel to go after Hillary and Clinton Foundation, Uranium One. And Jeff Sessions really isn't recused, I don't think, from anything involving Hillary Clinton. He's recused himself from anything involving the Russian investigation. But I think he's well within his right in this case to appoint a terrific prosecutor with a great team of assistant prosecutors to do this job. And then you won't have this sprawling investigation that goes on and on forever, frankly, waste the taxpayers' dollars. And I don't think it's necessary in this case. Sessions can just appoint a great prosecutor and do the real investigation. Why do you need a whole merry band of prosecutors waste our money?
Well, I think you're right in the sense that Jeff Sessions could. But look who his chief deputies are. You got Ron Rosenstein, you've got Andrew McCabe, Rod, and you've got Andrew McCabe still in that office influencing things. And I think walking away today, I think many of us said, I don't know if Attorney General Sessions believes he has the authority. If it doesn't take one, fine.
Congressman Biggs, great to see you, as
Thank
always.
you.
And for more analysis, let's bring in two top legal experts from Columbia, South Carolina, Saul Weisenberg, who was Ken Starr's deputy in the investigations into Bill Clinton scandals, and here in Washington, Joe DeGeneva, former U.S. attorney in Washington, D.C. All right, gentlemen, take it away. Let's talk first about the idea of a special counsel. Andy McCarthy in National Review, I think, makes a compelling case that in this issue of Uranium One or the Clinton Foundation, Hillary's emails, that a line prosecutor, a well-respected prosecutor, could actually handle this case well. Joe.
Yeah, clearly this does not require a special counsel. I agree with Andy 100%. And there's ample predicate factual information for an investigation right now for a grand jury based on the Clinton Foundation, the $500,000 to the president during the consideration of Uranium One, $145 million to the Clinton Foundation, everything involving all the things that you've listed, especially the email server involving Mrs. Clinton. There's no doubt that the standard Justice Department Criminal Division can handle this. There's no need for a special counsel. And by the way, what I found fascinating about the Attorney General's answer today was he said when there's a sufficient factual predicate for a special counsel. Guess what? There's no factual predicate for Robert Mueller. There's been no crime ever announced that he was investigating. So, I mean, to me, if you were going to do a special counsel, you can do it if you want to. I would give it to the Criminal Division in Main Justice and let them run with it. There's plenty of predicate, lots of information.
Saul, look, with all your experience with Ken Starr's investigation, you know how these things start. They start as one thing, they become something much bigger. And in the case of it, we don't have an independent counsel now. The statute's expired, but we could still appoint special counsels. In this case, with all the questions now about how they're trying to influence and stop witnesses from testifying before Congress, the shady dealings with the briberies and kickbacks involved with that Uranium One. I mean, uranium, 20% to the Russians. I mean, I think anyone off the street would say that was a crazy idea.
Well, let's focus on whether or not a special counsel would be appropriate, and I disagree with Joe on this. I think, first of all, the special counsel regulation is relatively vague. It says if there's a conflict of interest or extraordinary circumstances. Here you have President Trump, who has repeatedly called for his Justice Department to investigate this issue. And we're just talking about Uranium One here. I'm not talking about Fusion GPS, because I think that's already within Mueller's bailiwick. But President Trump has said, you need to investigate, you need to investigate. So on the one hand, if Sessions says, I'm going to find somebody within DOJ to do it, the Democrats are going to cry foul and say, this is outrageous, you're doing this for political reasons. On the other hand, if Sessions takes a look at it and says, I don't think there's anything there, the people on the right are going to scream and say, well, that's because Rod Rosenstein's involved, and he was U.S. attorney in Maryland when some of this stuff took place. So I think there are extraordinary circumstances. You can have a lot of the stuff running around about the Uranium One investigation. We don't know if it's true or not true. I think you appoint an honest broker who is special counsel, who is well respected. It's by no means automatic that they'll expand it. Senator Danforth didn't expand his investigation into Waco. He kept it very limited. I just think I understand what you're saying. I understand what Joe is saying. These investigations can get out of hand.
Oh, it goes for years. Lawrence Walsh, how long did that go, Saul? Was that 7 years?
That's true, but here, the president, like he has in so many situations, unfortunately, by opening his mouth, has made things much more difficult for Jeff Sessions.
Yeah, it's better for him just to hang back. Yeah, I agree with that. I think we all probably agree with that. That it's better for the president not to comment on ongoing investigations in general. Joe, you agree?
Yeah, that would be good. By the way, if Jeff Sessions wants to appoint a special counsel, it's okay with me. My point is very simple. The Uranium One, the Clinton Foundation, all the kickbacks require an investigation. There is now existing a sufficient predicate for a federal grand jury. There has been one for more than 4 years in existence. I don't give a damn who investigates it. It needs to be investigated.
It's great to have you both on, Saul and Joe. Thanks so much. And when we come back, ICE agents are now up in arms. Why they say Obama-era holdovers are causing havoc and even putting agents' lives at risk. Next.
This program is brought to you by Jaguar, the art of performance.
Merry Christmas.
Why are there so many miles on it?
What?
For great offers, visit your local Jaguar retailer during the Unwrap a Jaguar sales event.
It's easy to think that all money managers are pretty much the same. But while some push high commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some advisors have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some advisors are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. Maybe that's why most of our clients come from other money managers. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management.
Yeah, so Mom's got this cold. Hashtag stuffy nose, hashtag no sleep. I got it. Hashtag mouth breather.
Yep, we've got a mouth breather. Well, just put on a Breathe Right strip and pow! It instantly opens your nose up to 38% more than cold medicine alone. So you can breathe and sleep. Go to breatheright.com today to request a free sample.
Everyone wants a healthy white smile, but the fact is, just brushing your teeth is not enough. Dentists agree, flossing is the answer, but string flossing is a hassle. Now there's a better solution. This is the revolutionary new Waterpik Water Flosser, clinically proven to be the easiest and most effective way to floss. It removes up to 99.9% of plaque from treated areas and is up to 50% more effective than string flossing. Brushing, even with an electric toothbrush, only gets the surface, but the Waterpik Water Flosser cleans the areas brushing misses. Now you can have healthier gums and brighter teeth in just a minute a day.
Order now to receive your very own Waterpik Professional Designer Series for just $99.99. You'll also receive 11 flossing tips. And when you order now, you get the Cordless Advanced for free for cordless water flossing anytime, anywhere, even in the shower. You'll also receive free shipping, so order right now.
My wife and my father were infected with an early ransomware. This was personal. PCmatic used a foreign-made blacklist. We built the only whitelist antivirus to close the security holes in the blacklist right here in the United States. We won the industry's most difficult test. My kid's school paid an $8,500 ransom. Now it's more personal. PCmatic Pro was launched to protect schools, businesses, and government agencies. We achieved the first perfect score on the Virus Bulletin RAP test. We built malicious script blocking on top of PCmatic's whitelist. This year we've had 1 infection. Our goal is 0 infections and for the best antivirus to be made in America. The lower the infections, the less ransoms paid. Defeat ransomware. PCmatic, America's antivirus.
Welcome back. In a surprising move, the union that represents ICE officers has launched a new website claiming that President Trump has, quote, betrayed them. The National ICE Council endorsed Donald Trump in the 2016 election, but the group is now upset that the Trump administration has been really slow to reverse the policies of the Obama years. A post on the website reads, in part, quote, while officers view the president's position on enforcement as courageous, the Trump administration has left all of the Obama managers and leadership in place. Tensions are on the rise between Trump's army and Obama holdovers. So joining us now for reaction from Orlando, David Ward, a board member of the National Association of Former Border Patrol Officers, and here in Washington, Stephen Dinan, a reporter with the Washington Times who wrote about this today. Stephen, this is odd, but it's something we've heard about in other departments. What is the percentage of Obama holdovers still working within Immigration Customs Enforcement?
Yeah, so the ICE Council didn't say the number, and they actually didn't even name names. They left it vague for now, but they went through a number of different issues. The website is the website's actually fascinating. Not only does it give this sort of overall sense for the Obama holdovers, it gives a whole bunch of different specific examples of where those are having an effect, including an incident in Philadelphia where ICE officers who went into a very bad neighborhood of Philadelphia were told they had to remove their bulletproof vests to go make an arrest because it would offend the community where they were going into.
It offends them, David. It offends the ICE officers, does it not, when they get shot because they're not wearing a bulletproof vest for fear that it will offend, I guess, one of the illegal immigrants? I mean, what are we talking about here? This is insanity.
It is insanity. We've lost over 162 immigration agents killed in the line of duty. And for a manager to come up with an order such as that to take off their bulletproof vests because they're going into a neighborhood is absolutely insane. In fact, that manager or those people involved in that should be removed from their office for incompetency.
And do we have any idea, David, how many Obama holdovers are clogging the the administration here at the Immigration Customs Enforcement? I mean, the website is very fuzzy on this. We don't know how many. Is it 12? Is it 500? I mean, what are we talking about?
Well, the Trump administration has been in office for 11 months now, and the swamp is pretty big and it's vast within the federal government. It's going to take time to weed out those that are sworn to their office as the oath that they took, those that have sworn to the globalism which brought us sanctuary cities and lack of enforcement of Title VIII, and it's going to take a while to weed those people out.
Stephen, let's talk about how the priorities of President Trump and Obama do differ. Whether you have the right people in place, that's infuriating, but I remember the ICE officers during Obama's 2 terms. The morale was horribly low because they wanted to do their job and they were held back.
Yeah, no, and there's no question. In fact, I think there's not a single department and probably not a single agency other than ICE where there's been as big a change in the culture between the Obama administration and the Trump administration. As you look, we actually did calculations. Under the Obama administration, upwards of 80% of illegal immigrants were put out of bounds for deportation because of the priorities that the previous administration set out. Now the number is probably closer to only about 1 million. Basically, DACA recipients are the folks who are put completely out of bounds, and the rest of the 11 million illegal immigrants are at least potential targets for deportation. It's made a huge difference for those ICE officers that we were talking about, and they'll admit they're thrilled with that sort of the overall direction that they're getting from President Trump. The issue is
the ICE officers just have to jump out of the way and hope for the best. Or the Border Patrol officers.
Under the 8 years of the previous administration, immigration enforcement became probably the most dysfunctional I'd seen it in 34 years of working for the agency and enforcing immigration law. Now, when Trump came, I got
to. I mean, Stevens, we're out of time on that, but he has to get his people in place. He's not going to eliminate all the positions. He has to get his people in place. He's being undercut, by the way, at that climate event in Germany.
What started as a passion has grown into an enterprise. That's why I switched to the Spark Cash Card from Capital One. Now I'm earning unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase I make. Everything. What's in your wallet?
Diamonds at their lowest price in years. Half-carat solitaires are now $3.99, 1-carat $7.90, 2-carat $9.50 per carat, plus 1-carat studs $3.99. Insane prices on thousands of GIA diamonds and designer rings. Buy direct, the Jewelry Exchange.
Why do you need a modern software factory? Hey, do you like that app?
Not really.
That's why. And that's a big deal, because a bad experience is bad for business. So you need to continuously build, test, and deliver amazing apps, predicting problems before they ever become problems. Impossible, you say? Well, actually...
Oh, hey, I like this one.
Now you can have everything.
2017 Mitsubishi Outlander with standard third-row seating, one of America's safest crossovers. Well equipped for under $24,000. Get $3,000 cash back and make no payments for 90 days or 0% for 84 months.
Eras. They're defined by accomplishments, by victories, by those with the resourcefulness, the ingenuity, and the grit to help ensure the next energy to power our dreams will be American energy. This is our era. This is America's energy era. Next Era Energy.
Need new floors? Empire Today makes getting beautiful new floors easy. Impossible? Let me show you. Empire brings hundreds of samples to you. We call it Shop at Home. The floors are high quality and come with great warranties. Plus, Empire handles the installation. You don't lift a finger, and the job's done right. Shop at Home, quality floors, professional installation. That's Empire Today.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today. Now, everyone in America who uses catheters can get a catheter that's best for them with Liberator Medical. Today, there are more catheters than ever before. Like the ready-to-use catheters, pre-lubricated right out of the package. Compact travel catheters, feminine, discreet. Closed system catheters, comfortable, easy to control. Antibacterial catheters help reduce the risk of UTIs. Men's Coude tip catheters, curved tip for ease of use. Men's pocket catheters, U-shaped, fits in your pocket. All-in-one catheters, convenient, easy to use. Call Liberator Medical. You can sample as many types of catheters as you need to find the catheter that's best for you. And you can depend on Liberator Medical to get you your order on time.
Call 1-800-684-1970. 1-800-684-1970.
This Friday,
you guys here for the show?
The family event of the holiday season has a star for everyone.
This bird can dance.
Gina Rodriguez, Keegan-Michael Key, Stephen Young, Zachary Levi, Tyler Perry, Tracy Morgan, and Oprah Winfrey.
People are going to remember this night.
Featuring a brand new Christmas song by Mariah Carey.
Wherever you go, your best friend Dave will be right behind you.
The Star, the story of the first Christmas, rated PG.
And before we go tonight, a quick reminder, check out my new book, Billionaire at the Barricades, because I take you through the immigration wars of the past 25 years between the populists and the old establishment. And as you just heard in our previous block, we are still fighting those same battles today. Amazing. That is it for us tonight. Shannon Bream and the Fox News at Night team takes things from here. Miss Shannon, where are you? I don't see you. She's not there.
Hi, can
Somewhere.
you hear me? Can you see me? We're here.
Oh, no, this is like a disembodied voice. I love that. Shannon's just in another studio somewhere, and I don't, she's like over there. No, over there.
Not
Where
far
is
away.
she?
Not far away. We're together in spirit, Laura. Great show tonight.
Have a great show.
Thank you. All right, here is what we're doing tonight.
Tonight, Attorney General Jeff Sessions takes a grilling and vows to follow the law when it comes to investigating the Clintons and Uranium One.
That they will be done without political influence.
Is that enough for Republican Congressman Louis Gohmert, who believes the scandal has deep roots all over Washington? We'll ask him.
Bill Clinton had been a great voice for women in public and a great violator of women in private.
Why women are now going public. From the U.S. to Europe, the Harvey Weinstein effect taking down powerful men. And Republicans zero in on repealing Obamacare's individual mandates. Can they get it done? Congressman Dave Brat joins us live with the inside scoop on tax reform.
Hello and welcome to Fox News at Night. I'm Shannon Bream in Washington. Attorney General Jeff Sessions in the hot seat today, taking a grilling from both the left and the right while addressing the possibility of a special counsel investigation into Clinton-related matters, including the Uranium One deal. That deal gave Russia nearly control of roughly 20% of U.S. uranium production capacity. GOP lawmakers have been demanding action. even as 2 House committees have launched their own probes. Today, the Attorney General weighed in. Joining us now, Fox News Chief National Correspondent Ed Henry. All right, Ed, did the Attorney General give any indication of what will happen next on this?
Well, great to see you, Shannon. You know, the Attorney General is keeping his cards close to the vest. But what's clear tonight is that the hearing started out with Democrats trying to put Sessions and the president on the griddle over Russia. It ended with the Clintons and various Obama officials feeling the burn as well. Sessions took some of his own hits, basically changing his story from October when he testified under oath that he did not know of anybody in the Trump campaign having contacts with Russians, and he will have to face the music on that. But the Attorney General also made it very clear he's open to appointing a special counsel to investigate Bill and Hillary Clinton over their own Russia connection. Allegations that donations to the Clinton Foundation and big speaking fees to the former president were tied to a move by the administration of then President Barack Obama to greenlight a deal that gave Russian President Vladimir Putin access to a big share of the uranium supply right here in the U.S., which Sessions suggested he's looking at very aggressively.
Do I have your assurance that these matters will proceed fairly and expeditiously?
Yes, you can, Mr. Chairman, and you can be sure that they will be done without political influence, and they'll be done correctly and properly.
In fact, when Republican Jim Jordan pressed Sessions on a second special counsel by saying it looks like the first one, Robert Mueller, was appointed after Democrats funded that dirty dossier to get ammunition to wiretap Trump officials, the Attorney General was very firm in saying, looks like is simply not good enough for him. He's going to be very deliberate, Shannon. He's going to be very careful before he moves forward on any of this.
All right, so of course the Democrats think a lot of this is a political move. How are they responding? How is the Attorney General responding to that?
Yeah, well, Democrats like John Conyers were very direct in this hearing, charging that because of all of the president's tweets, his public comments about the person he calls Crooked Hillary needing to be investigated, and Sessions fearing for his job, Democrats say that's the real reason for the shift in focus, and the Attorney General flatly rejected the idea he's giving in to political pressure.
Should the President of the United States make public comments that might influence a pending criminal investigation?
Should take great care in those issues. I have not been improperly influenced and would not be improperly influenced.
But it's clear Sessions has gotten the message on something else that has been bothering the president. Sessions revealed today there are now 27, that's right, 27 open investigations into who leaked various pieces of classified information. The president and his advisors, you know, they've been talking about what they call the deep state leaks that have been undermining the White House. They are now at the Justice Department all over that tonight, Shannon.
That will make the president very happy,
Big
though
deal.
He's been frustrated on other points. All right, thanks so much, Ed.
See you.
All right, the topic matter at today's hearing was far more wide-ranging than just that. Included a whole host of questions from Democrats about perjury, presidential pressure, and supposed collusion with Russia in the run-up to the 2016 election. Ellison Barber joins us live with the rest of the story. Hello, Ellison.
Hi, Shannon. Yeah, as expected, Democrats peppered Sessions with questions about Russian contacts during the 2016 campaign, at times forcing Sessions to defend his integrity.
Once and for all, can we answer the question?
I am once and for all answering the question, Congressman.
You testified that your story has, quote, never changed. Is that correct?
We've added things that I did not recall at the time. And you're accusing me of lying about that? I say that's not fair, Mr. Jeffries.
Sessions adamantly maintained he did not lie to Congress when he said he was unaware of any communications between Trump campaign surrogates and the Russians. But that is what's at issue here, inconsistencies between what Sessions previously told Congress and some things former campaign advisors are saying of late. There's Carter Page's testimony. Earlier this month, the former foreign policy advisor told the House Intelligence Committee he briefly spoke to Sessions about a trip he was taking to Russia. Sessions said today he doesn't doubt Page's story, but he doesn't remember it either. Then there's court documents released after another former campaign foreign policy advisor, George Papadopoulos, pled guilty to lying to the FBI. Those court documents say Papadopoulos suggested setting up a meeting between then-candidate Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Papadopoulos suggested it at a campaign national security meeting in March of 2016, a meeting led by Sessions. The Attorney General says he forgot about that meeting until he caught it in the news.
I have no clear recollection of the details of what he said at that meeting.
Sessions did remember some details. He claims he pushed back against Papadopoulos.
Did Mr. Papadopoulos mention his outreach to the Russian government during that meeting?
He made some comment to that effect, yes, as I remember after having read it in the newspaper.
I asked for yes or no. I don't have time.
Yes, all right.
There are reports that you shut George down, unquote, when he proposed that meeting with Putin. Is this correct, yes or no?
Yes. I pushed back.
When asked if he tried to prevent, quote, further outreach to the Russians after the meeting, Sessions told Congressman Nadler he was not aware of any further contacts and he did not have regular contact with Papadopoulos. Shannon?
All right, Ellison Barber, thank you very much. Well, GOP Congressman Louis Gohmert turned up the heat on the Attorney General today, raising serious concerns about Robert Mueller and Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, among others. He joins us now to talk about that and the special chart he had today, and you brought a copy with you. Good to see you, Congressman. Thanks for coming in.
Great to see you too, Shannon.
All right,
Great
listen, there are all kinds of things on here. Russia, IRS, President Obama, Hillary Clinton, all kinds of things.
All connected.
Right, and there's some critics today who went through this chart and they weren't too impressed. They didn't know why you threw in some other things like Huma Abedin and other. They didn't understand how that was all connected.
It is.
But you were really hard on the Attorney General because he took it from the left and the right today, and you want to see more from him. What is this all about?
Well, it's just that the more you get into this, the more clear it is. This should be the item that had a special prosecutor. And in fact, we ought to be looking at Mr. Mueller. We ought to be looking at Mr. Rosenstein because, Shannon, this is a motion to seal records. This is information about the deal with Russia, the effort of Russia to corner the market on uranium.
Right, who's asking to seal them?
Pardon?
Who's asking to seal them?
Well, the name right there says Rod Rosenstein, and it has his assistant U.S. attorney, Adam Akey, that signed on his behalf.
Are you saying?
And they got I'm saying
you don't think they can be objective?
They were so involved in the initial investigation of Russia trying to corner the market that should have prevented Hillary Clinton from, and Eric Holder and others, from approving the sale of our uranium to Uranium One and ultimately with Russia. So with all the information they have and the sworn evidence they have sealed, I think they were knowing down the road if somebody goes back snooping and says you should never have allowed this uranium to be sold to Russia, gee, you had all this evidence. Well, they won't be able to see the evidence because they got a judge to seal it. And of course, Mueller was the FBI director that was involved in this, an official FBI document.
I don't think, and you probably don't think either, there's any reason or any way these gentlemen would step away from the duties they've been assigned and the roles they've been assigned. So that leaves us with talking about who could get rid of them. And you know there's so much talk that if the president stepped in and pushed them away, Lindsey Graham over on the Senate side says it'd be holy hell to pay, that it's going to look terrible. Just
exactly right.
Let them finish.
It's one of the things I love about you and your show. You cut right to the chase.
And we have great guests too.
But Mueller has known that, and if you look at the actions he's taken, the very day James Comey testified on the Hill that there was no evidence at all of collusion between Donald Trump and the Russians, then there were people that were immediately screaming, hey, why do we need a special counsel? We don't. Mueller's got to go. So what happens? That night, Mueller, or one of those working for him, leaked out, I am now investigating Trump for obstruction of justice. I told the president, the reason that he leaked that out was so that you could not now fire him, as some people were advocating, because then it would appear like another Saturday Night Massacre, and gee, now we got to impeach Trump because as I told you, you cannot fire him now because he set this up.
Right, the perception there would be a lot of trouble for the White House.
But we do need somebody to investigate Mueller, and as somebody starts investigating Mueller and they see the trail that Mueller has laid and left behind, including Mr. Rosenstein, then it will be very clear. It won't be the president asking them to step down. It'll be very clear they can't be investigating when they're a target.
Well, listen, we're going to need a little bit more time to continue investigating this, but we will, because people need to know it's
all connected.
Congressman Gohmert, it's great to have you in.
Shannon, it's great to be with you.
Thanks for coming in. See you again soon.
Thank you.
All right, tonight, yet another pillar of support for Judge Roy Moore is crumbling. The Alabama Senate candidate fighting to fill Jeff Sessions' open seat. He's facing multiple accusations of sexual misconduct from women who say they were just teens when they claim these incidents occurred. Moore spoke a short while ago at a church in Jackson, and he's still defiant. We'll have more on that coming up in just a minute, but meanwhile, Jonathan Seri has more details now. The latest from Gadsden, Alabama. Hi, Jonathan.
Fox News sources say the Republican National Committee is pulling its national field staffers out of the Alabama Senate race. Meanwhile, filings with the Federal Election Commission no longer list the RNC on a joint fundraising agreement with the Moore campaign. And Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is calling on Moore to end his bid for the U.S. Senate.
Roy Moore should step aside. The women who've come forward are entirely credible. He's obviously not fit to be in the United States Senate.
Moore is firing back with a series of tweets directed at McConnell, including this one. Republican primary, strike one. Republican runoff, strike two. General election, TBD. 3 strikes and you're out, Mitch. Just days after the Washington Post reported allegations that Moore fondled a 14-year-old girl back in 1979 when he was 32, a new accuser has come forward. Beverly Young Nelson says she had just turned 16 when Moore, a frequent customer at the restaurant where she worked, offered her a ride home.
Mr. Moore reached over and began groping me, and putting his hands on my breast. I tried to open my car door to leave, but he reached over and he locked it so I could not get out.
I can tell you without hesitation, this is absolutely false. I never did what she said I did. I don't even know the woman. I don't know anything about her. I don't even know where the restaurant is or was.
Conventional wisdom suggests all the controversy will help Moore's opponent. Democrat Doug Jones has released a new commercial reaching out to Republican voters in Alabama.
Yep, I'm another Republican. I'm Steve Duncan. I want to be on the right side of history. That's why I'm voting for Doug Jones.
With no sign of Moore dropping out of the race anytime soon, he and Jones are scheduled to face off in the general election December 12. Shannon?
Jonathan Seri, thank you very much. Up next, more and more Democrats now publicly admitting they may have gotten it all wrong on President Bill Clinton and the numerous women who accused him of assaults, even rape. So what does it mean for the party if they follow through on their so-called real reckoning? An exclusive report next.
The young staffer, is a young woman, went there and was greeted with a member in a towel.
Voting a hush-hush congressional slush fund used to quietly get rid of sex harassment claims on Capitol Hill, and it's all funded by you, the taxpayer.
Ba ba black sheep. Have you any wool? No, sir, no, sir. Some nincompoop stole all my wool sweaters, smart TV, and gaming system. Luckily, the Geico Insurance Agency recently helped Baba with renter's insurance. Everything stolen was replaced, and the hooligan who lives down the lane was caught selling the stolen goods online. Visit geico.com and see how easy it is to switch and save on renter's insurance.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Well, today we're going to see one for ourselves and let you be the judge. It's called Plexiderm, and lifestyle expert Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video that the viewers can watch while you and I talk so they can actually see how this works. And you'll notice the model has bags underneath his eyes and some sagging, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face, and that's how easy it is.
All right, what's the active ingredient?
Okay, so it's silicates that are minerals found in shale rock. They take this out of the shale rock, and what it does is it tightens and lifts the bags underneath your eyes in as little as 5 minutes. No prescriptions, and very little effort. Even watching the video, this is a real, it's a model, but it's a real guy with real bags underneath his eyes. And I did this to my father. We were at home. I had the timer on, and we were screaming. 4 minutes, 34 seconds, completely gone.
I can't even believe that this worked. I was a little skeptical, I am not going to lie, because I saw people online with it. I'm like, yeah, right, that can't possibly work. Honestly, it really works. I'm telling you, it really works.
And not only does it work on the bags, it works on crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles. So it targets all those problem areas.
So this would be a daily thing, or just when you want to like get rid of the bags and you would your morning routine?
It absolutely could be a daily thing, but the way you want to do it is you want to have a clean, dry face. You use a small amount because it's so powerful. Apply it underneath your eyes, fine line wrinkles. You have high school reunions, you have events you want to go to, you want to look years younger. This is it.
Try it now and get up to 50% off the normal retail price, plus get free shipping. Visit Plexiderm.com or call the number on your screen and watch the transformation happen to you.
Tomorrow, a how-to guide for dealing with the Dems' DACA demands. Plus, Peter Schweitzer unearths the latest in the Uranium One controversy. Next, Ingram Engel.
Mary and Shirley both need oxygen. Shirley lost her freedom the day she went on oxygen, but Mary has the brand new ultra-compact Inogen One G4 oxygen concentrator from Inogen. It's the smallest and lightest model we've ever made. Shirley is forced to miss out on everyday activities. Mary fully enjoys her life. Shirley has to wait for tank deliveries and worries about running out of oxygen. But Mary's Inogen One G4 makes its own oxygen, so she'll always have the oxygen she needs anytime, anywhere. Shirley finally listened to Mary and now has more freedom too. It's time for you to reclaim your freedom and independence with the Inogen One G4. Act now to start your 30-day risk-free trial. This is a limited time offer, so don't wait and don't accept substitutions. The sooner you call, the sooner you can say goodbye to heavy oxygen tanks for good and reclaim the freedom and independence you deserve. Call now for your 30-day risk-free trial.
Call 800-914-7313.
The renewed focus on sexual misconduct sweeping the nation, and particularly here in the nation's capital, has reporters and lawmakers revisiting past allegations against former President Bill Clinton. Chief Washington correspondent James Rosen tells us about one liberal commentator is calling a real reckoning for Democrats.
Shannon, good evening. In the tsunami of sexual harassment allegations that has subsumed American politics, media, and finance, one name, slowly but surely, has resurfaced.
Indeed, I did have a relationship with Ms. Lewinsky that was not appropriate.
Beyond his Oval Office affair with a 22-year-old intern, which led to impeachment, President Clinton was also accused of raping Juanita Broaddrick in a hotel room, groping Kathleen Willey, and other incidents similar to the allegations now roiling America. In this hashtag #MeToo moment, Michelle Goldberg writes in the New York Times, we should look clearly at the credible evidence that Juanita Broaddrick told the truth when she accused Clinton of raping her. Democrats are guilty of apologizing for Clinton when they shouldn't have.
I think people are starting to believe and realize that I was truly sexually assaulted by Bill Clinton.
In The Atlantic, Caitlin Flanagan says it was a pattern of behavior. It included an alleged violent assault. The women involved had far more credible evidence than many of the most notorious accusations that have come to light in the past 5 weeks. But Clinton, Flanagan notes, was not left to the swift and pitiless justice that today's accused men have experienced. Rather, he was rescued by a surprising force, machine feminism.
You look great!
Flanagan points to a 1998 Times op-ed by feminist icon Gloria Steinem, which overlooked Broaddrick to argue, even if the allegations are true, the president is not guilty of sexual harassment. He is accused of having made a gross, dumb, and reckless pass at a supporter. President Clinton took no for an answer. The widespread liberal response to the sex crime accusations against Bill Clinton, Flanagan concludes, found their natural consequence 20 years later in the behavior of Harvey Weinstein. Stay loudly and publicly and extravagantly on the side of signal leftist causes, and you can do what you want in the privacy of your offices and hotel rooms.
Bill Clinton had been a great voice for women in public and a great violator of women in private. That's all been adjudicated. He's been impeached. He's paid a price. Now what we need to do is to call out men, call out all men to be accountable for saying what they see.
Liberal men are also chiming in, with MSNBC host Chris Hayes tweeting, "As gross and cynical and hypocritical as the right's "what about Bill Clinton" stuff is, it's also true that Democrats and the center left are overdue for a real reckoning with the allegations against him," unquote. Shannon?
James, thank you very much. Well, a little-known law that seems to cloak sexual harassment cases against lawmakers in secrecy may soon get a makeover. Under the current framework, accusers are granted the right to sue only if they file a written statement within 180 days, undergo 30 days of counseling, and then mediation. And in the end, the lawmaker's identity is kept confidential, even if he or she is found guilty. To top it off, Democratic Congresswoman Jackie Speier says if there's a settlement, the taxpayers foot the bill and it's paid out of a U.S. Treasury fund, and it never goes public. Today, one of her GOP counterparts in the House described some of the charges leveled at lawmakers.
This member asked a staffer to bring them over some materials to their residence. And the young staffer, who's a young woman, went there and was greeted with a member in a towel. At that point, he decided to expose himself.
The Washington Post reports that between 1997 and 2014, that secret fund paid out more than $15 million to victims. Well, the sexual harassment and assault allegations against Harvey Weinstein shook Hollywood and sparked a ripple effect of victims coming forward in other industries, like right here on Capitol Hill. Now the impact is reaching far beyond U.S. borders. Inspired by the women and men who've spoken up, the Weinstein effect has gone global, with powerful men facing serious allegations worldwide. Let's talk about it now with Larry O'Connor, host of The Larry O'Connor Show, and contributing editor at Mediaite, and Richard Fowler, a Fox News contributor and radio talk show host. Good to see you tonight, gentlemen.
Good to see you, and good evening.
Okay, so listen, I used to practice as a sexual harassment attorney. To me, it's not like this stuff hasn't been happening. It's now that there's just a public conversation and people feel like they have a way to come and talk about it. It's not anything new, but Richard, it seems like the floodgates are now open.
It does seem like the floodgates are now open, and I think it speaks to a larger problem that exists in this country for a very long time. I think rape culture, some would argue, has surrounded America for a very long time, and finally the chips in the wall are starting to sort of fall apart, and women are starting to come forward and tell their stories. And I think this is just part of the solution. I think we have to do a couple things beyond just women going out there and telling our stories. I think the second thing we've got to do, Shannon, is we've really got to work on educating men and boys as early as possible on how to treat women and to make sure that they don't make the same mistakes. And I think the other thing that we've got to do, which you don't hear a lot about, is for those men who've been
accusation about another
Sharia-oriented countries who embrace a very, very strict and intolerant view of Islam. Those countries have major problems with
for Juanita Broderick, but the conversation continues, and you guys are going to stick around for some more conversation, so don't go anywhere. Coming up, what if the Germans held a climate change conference and the Trump delegation brought a lump of coal, a whole lot of coal to the party? Well, we're going to tell you how that went down. Stick around.
Snipers depend on clear vision to hit their targets. Now you can get that same HD clarity with Sniper Vision by Atomic Beam. Hi, I'm Hunter Ellis, and I wear Sniper Vision by Atomic Beam for crystal clear vision when it matters most. These high-tech HD polarized lenses help you see objects the naked eye can't detect. That's why soldiers depend on sharp clarity like you get with Sniper Vision. They eliminate glare, enhance color, and provide UV protection for a clarity you won't get anywhere else. But check this out. These are no ordinary sunglasses. You can bend them and twist them because Sniper Vision is built Atomic Tough. The secret's the shape memory polymer that delivers unmatched flexibility. And the frames snap back to their original shape just like new. But watch this. After being hit with rat shot from just over 10 feet away, the front of the lens is scratched, but check it out. It's still intact. That's what I call a tough lens. For motorcycles, they're a must. For hunting, fishing, or target practice, cut the glare and see 10 times clearer than polarized glasses alone. Similar sunglasses can cost hundreds. Call or click now and get Sniper Vision by Atomic Beam, the ultimate tactical eyewear for just $14.99. But it gets even better. You'll also get a lifetime guarantee. If they ever break for any reason, you get your money back. We'll even ship them to you free. That's right, free shipping and handling. Sniper Vision by Atomic Beam with lifetime guarantee and free shipping is just $14.99. Order now.
Call 1-800-976-8879. That's 1-800-976-8879. Or visit GetSniperVision.com to get your special offer Sniper Vision. So call 1-800-976-8879 or visit GetSniperVision.com. That's GetSniperVision.com. Get your special offer Sniper Vision with free shipping and handling today. Order now.
Tension in your neck and shoulders can make you really uncomfortable, and achy and sore back muscles can be downright painful. What you need is to wrap yourself in soothing relief with the all-new Thermopulse Relief Wrap, the new ultra-soft and plush wrap that's shaped like a shawl that gives you a choice of warm, heated relief or a relaxing massage, or both at the same time. Unlike regular heating pads that are small and hard to keep in place, Relief Wrap covers you completely from your shoulders to your waist and has a magnetic closure so it always stays perfectly in place. The full-size back delivers soothing warmth wherever you need it, and unlike bulky, uncomfortable massage pads, Relief Wrap is soft to the touch and wraps you in total comfort. With a choice of 4 steady or pulsating massage settings, Relief Wrap is perfect for relieving stress and soothing your sore, aching muscles. And when you're feeling chilly, no matter how drafty or cold the room, just drape yourself in the warmth of the Relief Wrap, and now you're totally comfortable. The extra long 9-foot cord lets you enjoy Relief Wrap on the couch or your favorite chair. With a 2-hour auto shut-off feature, you can safely enjoy a warm and gentle massage even in bed. The ultra plush fabric looks great and feels great. Plus, the cover is machine washable, the perfect gift idea for holiday time or any time. So why struggle with heating pads that are too small or massage pads that are too hard, when now there's Relief Wrap? Similar products can cost up to $100. But call right now and you can get Relief Wrap for just 2 payments of $29.99. Available in your choice of color. Order now and we'll double the offer. Just pay a separate fee. That's right. You get 2 deluxe Thermopulse Relief Wraps for just 2 payments of $29.99.
To order, call 1-800-735-0108 or visit ReliefWrap.com for just 2 payments of $29.99 and we'll double the offer. That's 1-800-735-0108 or log on to ReliefWrap.com. Don't delay. Order now.
The Trump administration's not backing down from a fight over fossil fuels. In fact, they're taking their arguments right to the heart of the matter at an international conference on climate change. Trace Gallagher is in our West Coast newsroom with more on that story. Hi, Trace.
Hi, Shannon. You know, when you show up at the United Nations Climate Change Conference in Germany and defend fossil fuels like natural gas and coal, the very energy sources that many scientists believe led to climate change, you're bound to get some pushback, and the Trump administration got just that. In fact, even before the White House and some top American energy officials got the chance to argue their case, as you can see, they were sung down and shouted down by audience members, which is certainly not surprising to former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg, who was at the conference and who has spent millions of dollars on a campaign to shut down coal plants. Bloomberg said, quoting, "Promoting coal at a climate summit is like promoting tobacco at a cancer summit." But despite those comments and a number of similar newspaper headlines, there is no indication the Trump administration is advocating that fossil fuels are the answer to climate change. Instead, the White House argument seems to be that for the near future, fossil fuels are unavoidable. Listen.
So without a question, fossil fuels will continue to be used. And we would argue that it's in the global interest to make sure that when fossil fuels are used, that it's as clean and efficient as possible.
Even renewable energy advocates acknowledge that hundreds of millions of people in countries across Asia and Africa rely on natural gas and coal because it's affordable and abundant. They say the goal should not be eradicating coal, which they call unrealistic, instead burning cleaner coal, which has proven to greatly reduce carbon emissions. Shannon.
All right. An interesting showdown there on that front. Trace Gallagher, thank you very much. Sure. Well, shock in Northern California, where a gunman apparently randomly targeted 7 locations, killing 4 people. It could have been much worse if not for quick work by a local elementary school. Teachers say they heard gunfire from about a quarter-mile away. The school went into lockdown, and authorities say that potentially prevented massive loss of life at the school. The gunman apparently left the school grounds and then was killed in a shootout with police. Coming up, big news on tax reform. We'll hear from congressional firebrand Dave Brat. Apparently progress that could mean real tax cuts coming for you.
Stick around.
Children shouldn't have to battle cancer, but they do.
My name is Abby, and I have Ewing sarcoma. St. Jude is trying to make it go away.
My name is Randall, and I have leukemia. I just finished my high dose of chemo.
You can join the battle to save lives by supporting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
I'd never imagined that I'd have to bring my child here. One day she was playing with dolls and doing her hair, and the next day she doesn't have any.
Families never receive a bill from St. Jude for treatment, travel, housing, or food, because all a family should worry about is helping their child live. Please call or go online right now and become a St. Jude Partner in Hope for only $19 a month.
You don't realize the magnitude of how much you've really helped somebody. You know, I just want to say thank you.
1 in 5 children diagnosed with cancer will not survive.
I didn't want any other parents to have to go through this. I don't know where we would be without this hospital.
When you join with your credit or debit card right now, we'll send you this St. Jude t-shirt you can wear to show your support for the children of St. Jude.
St. Jude gives you all of that hope back. They gave me my daughter back.
St. Jude won't stop until no child dies from cancer.
I hope that I beat this cancer. And I just hope that every other kid can too.
Please, call or go online right now.
If you love your friends and family, give them a meal that will truly be appreciated. The Omaha Steaks Savings Celebration Package. Sold separately, this package is filled with $193 worth of great food for the combo price of just $49.99. That's 74% off on this limited time offer. The Omaha Steaks Savings Celebration Package includes 4 tender top sirloin steaks, 4 extra thick boneless pork chops, 4 oven-roasted chicken breasts, 4 classic juicy Omaha Steaks burgers, and 4 gourmet jumbo franks. Dessert is 4 caramel apple tartlets. Your order will be delivered straight to your home or the destination of your choice to enjoy with friends and family. As a special thanks from us to you, if you order right now, we'll include 4 additional Omaha Steaks burgers free. That's 8 total. You get it all, the Omaha Steaks Savings Celebration Package, a $193 value for just $49.99. Enjoy the lowest pricing of the season with the Savings Celebration Package from Omaha Steaks today.
Tonight, tax reform and Obamacare, both issues wrapped into the still developing Senate plan, including a repeal of the individual mandate as part of tax reform, sparking strong reaction on both sides of the aisle. Chief Congressional Correspondent Mike Emanuel reports from Capitol Hill.
Yeah, we're optimistic that inserting the individual mandate repeal would be helpful, and that's obviously the view of the Senate Finance Committee Republicans as well.
House Republican leaders say they intend to pass their tax reform package in the House this Thursday.
Washington has been propping up a tax system riddled with special loopholes for the well-connected. This bill changes this. We are cutting taxes for middle and low-income families.
President Trump plans to rally House Republicans before that pivotal floor vote. On Twitter, the president sung the bill's praises. A great tax bill with the middle class getting big tax cuts. One question for leadership remains the SALT deduction and how many Republicans from states with high property and other taxes like New York, New Jersey, and California would vote yes. New York's Claudia Tenney says she's leaning yes.
Well, if we get the House version with a compromise on SALT, that's something I can support, but the Senate pulled it out, and it's going to be real hard for New York.
New York's Dan Donovan says he's a no.
And because of the elimination of the state and local tax deduction, it's just harmful to New Yorkers.
Democrats suggest when the American people run the numbers, they won't be happy.
When the public understands what's in this bill that harms working families versus who the true beneficiaries of the bulk of the tax cuts are, they're going to be really angry.
The House will be in order.
And while there are signs that Republicans within the House are coming together, so far that isn't the case between the House and Senate.
This thing is going to go into a conference committee where we're going to deal with the kinds of concerns and issues that people want dealt with, and we feel good where we are.
Where the Senate is fine-tuning its tax overhaul in the Finance Committee.
We still don't have the full text of the bill.
This evening, the House Rules Committee met to prepare the House version of tax reform for the House floor. Sources suggest they are going to go forward in the House without the Obamacare aspect, feeling like they could add it later in a House and Senate conference. Shannon?
All right, Mike Emanuel live on Capitol Hill. Well, while Senate leaders threw everyone a curveball today by announcing their decision to include a repeal of the individual mandate in their version of the tax bill, the House is forging ahead. Speaker Ryan telling reporters they will stick to their original plan. Doesn't include that mandate repeal, at least for now. Joining us now to discuss, Congressman Dave Brett, member of the House Budget Committee and member of the Conservative Freedom Caucus, our favorite wonky person.
Thank you,
Our
Shannon.
favorite wonk.
That's right.
Okay, so this individual mandate thing not happening in the House. It's going to happen in the Senate. There's some question about whether it will help or hurt the package there. I want to play a little bit of what GOP Senator John Kennedy had to say.
Right.
I support repealing the mandate as a part of our tax cut legislation, so long as it doesn't upset the apple cart so we can't get to 50 votes.
You think that could be a make or break in the Senate for getting to that magic number?
No, I think they're there. I think they got the votes, and now I think it's a winner on us. It saves us $300 billion, and the folks might recall if we would have repealed Obamacare fully, we would have $1 trillion, right? So this is a third of that amount, and that'll help to get tax rates lower for the middle class and S Corps, small businesses and C Corps. And then last Tuesday in Virginia election, federal health care issues were the #1 issue at the state. Right.
Or he wouldn't expect any Dem votes on the in the House side.
I doubt
going to be tough to come by in the Senate as well. Here's what the Senate's top Democrat, Chuck Schumer, had to say about this whole thing that the Republicans, he says, have
failed as well.
All right, is that an accurate assessment of what you guys are proposing? Just strictly factual?
No, I mean, on the fact, the simplest way to do it is just average family income is $60,000 in Virginia. That family making $60,000 with 2 kids is going to get $1,200 back, right? So there's a middle class tax cut, right? Are there going to be some moving parts, right, for business deductions and complexities? Sure, right? But on average, it's the small businesses are going to get a tax cut. The C Corps are going to go down to 20. It's going to make us competitive with the rest of the world. And the middle class is getting a tax cut. We wish we could do more, but we're limited by $1.5 trillion. And, you know, you can, if Senator Schumer was, you know, had it right, then why are they scared of us passing the bill, right? If it's a travesty, it's not a travesty. The most important thing, it's going to create economic growth. No one even knows what that looks like, right? From Bernie through Trump, the election last time was about the average middle class wages, that, right, the forgotten man. That was the election. Wages have been flat for 30 years. And so if you want to raise wages, there's only one way. I taught economics for 20 years to raise wages, and that's to increase productivity. Well, what increases productivity? Capital equipment. And so our tax bill does immediate expensing for capital equipment. So the guys working at General Motors or wherever, right, working on the assembly lines with capital robotics and everything, advanced engineering, et cetera, that's the in thing. That's why we make more than poor countries, right? We got more capital. We're incentivizing capital. It's a total winner. So the Dems are a little nervous.
All right, well, we'll see. We know they're not getting risk. By the way, Professor, thank you very much. I used to do, I shouldn't admit this, crossword puzzles in my econ classes.
No,
because I got a little bit lost. But I got what you were saying there. I should have taken your class. All right, come back soon.
Anytime. Thank you, Shannon.
All right, up next, did President Trump's pressure cause Sessions to cave on the Clintons? We'll debate next.
It's Empire Today's biggest sale, the 50-50-50 sale. 50% off carpet and flooring, 50% off padding and materials, and 50% off installation. That's right, half off your entire project. you can save thousands. Empire's 50-50-50 sale won't last long. Don't miss 50% off carpet and flooring, 50% off padding and materials, and 50% off installation.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today, we believe in rock and roll. We believe in blasting it down the fairway, turning up the heat and the fun. At Del Webb, we believe in life well led, in your own beautiful, smartly designed home, in an active adult community with sushi eaters, artists, thrill seekers, and you. We believe you'll like it here.
My name is Jeff Sheldon, and I'm the founder of UgMonk. Before ShipStation, it was crazy. Like, it's great when you see, 100 orders come in, but then you realize I got 100 orders that I actually have to ship out. ShipStation streamlined that whole process. The order data, the weights of the items, everything is seamlessly put into ShipStation. So when we print the shipping label, everything's pretty much done. It's so much easier. So now we're ready, bring on the orders.
ShipStation, the #1 choice of online sellers. Go to shipstation.com/TV and get 2 months free.
Previewing the critical tax vote. Is reform a sure thing, or could the bill crumble in the House? Doug Collins breaks down the GOP's numbers on the next Fox News at Night.
If you have Medicare, I have 3 things you'll want to hear. There's an all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan from Humana. It includes Medicare Part D prescription drug coverage, and it may save you money in so many ways. It's all in this book, and it's yours free just for calling. You'll see all the ways the plan might save you money, even on prescription drugs. In fact, last year, Humana Medicare Advantage prescription drug plan members saved an estimated $6,500 on average on their prescription costs. And you get all this coverage with an affordable monthly plan premium, and in some areas, no plan premium. Even if you've looked at Humana before, you need to take another look at this plan. We'll send you the decision guide absolutely free, in a slightly smaller size, of course. Discover the all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan that could cut your costs and cover your prescriptions. Call 1-877-305-1915 or go to humanabigbook.com. The savings are too big to miss.
Santa set down Max's gifts by a tree, but stopping at Quick Jack thought, what could this be? A portable car lift with self-locking bars that fits at the lift points of most trucks and cars? Push-button controls make it easy to lift. This Quick Jack should be my own holiday gift. So he slipped it back slow and snuck off with the jack. And nothing was merry that morning for Max. But at QuickJack.com, we have savings for you. Enter Holiday Steal and your wish will come true.
It would be nice to stay in a cozy boutique hotel somewhere along the coast. Not exactly sure where yet. But annoyingly, on a lot of websites, you can only see results for an exact location you search for. Well, Trivago does it differently. On Trivago, you can simply use the map, explore the whole area, and as you move along, Trivago keeps showing you all the hotels that meet your search criteria. And that's one more way Trivago helps you find your ideal hotel for the best price. Hotel Trivago.
Returning to our top story, Attorney General Jeff Sessions weighing in on Uranium One and the Clintons. A couple weeks ago, President Trump said this about the Justice Department under Jeff Sessions.
The saddest thing is that because I'm the President of the United States, I am not supposed to be involved with the Justice Department. I'm not supposed to be involved with the FBI. I'm not supposed to be doing the kind of things that I would love to be doing. And I'm very frustrated by it.
All right, so is Sessions bending now to political pressure? Who better to ask than Larry O'Connor, host of the Larry O'Connor Show and Fox News contributor? That soundbite was from his show. Fox News contributor Richard Fowler. Great to see you both.
Good to see you, Shannon.
Okay, so you talked to the president. He expressed clearly, I think he knows there's a line he's not supposed to cross, but it's hard. He can't help himself. He's frustrated.
Yeah, and I think the sad part of that, when he says it, the saddest thing, it's taken a little out of context. My question to him was from the perspective of my listeners. I talk every day for 3 hours here on WMAL in Washington, D.C., and I said, this is what I hear all the time from the listeners, Shannon, is that they are confused and don't understand that they see all of these things with the Clinton family, with the Clinton Foundation, with Uranium One, with the emails, with all all of the things that they believe deserve a fair and just investigation, and it doesn't get investigated, and they want to know why. And that's the reason that the president answered that way. And I think that it's a good sign that Attorney General Sessions has said that he is looking into this and investigating, possibly bringing a special counsel in. And I hope it's from the outside, like way outside, because it can't be from D.C. here, someone who's worked in the Justice Department, worked in Washington, D.C., because sadly, everyone's intermingled here. Everyone,
small town.
Yeah.
It really is.
And everyone has fingerprints.
Everybody has worked together here. Everybody knows each other. That's just a fact.
I'm saying the DA from Nome, Alaska, bring him in and let him investigate.
You might enjoy a little visit here in D.C. And so, listen, the Attorney General took heat from both sides of the aisle on this today. I want to play a little bit of what he got from GOP Congressman Jim Jordan about this.
Well, Mr. Comey is no longer the director of the FBI.
Thank goodness.
We have an excellent man of integrity and ability in Chris Wray, and I think he's going to do an outstanding job, and I'm very happy
He's
about
not here today,
that.
Attorney General.
And I would say,
and I'm asking for a special
time
counsel.
of the gentleman and I would say looks like is not enough basis to appoint a special counsel.
And listen, Richard, yesterday, Jim Jordan, along with another Congressman Getz, they had an op-ed out basically saying to Jeff Sessions, do your job, outlining all these things they think he should be investigating. And we don't know if he is or not, because they can't publicly disclose a lot of that.
Right, and they can't. That's what the FBI does. They can't disclose investigations. But as far as Uranium One goes, there actually was some investigations in 2015. A lot of field offices investigated Uranium One. It was eventually bumped up to the national FBI office. It was investigated. At that point in time, career investigators, career prosecutors said there's not enough evidence here. And just a little bit of background: when we decide to sell uranium, not saying that this was a good idea to sell this uranium. That's not what I'm saying. But when we decide to make any uranium deal, there's 9 agencies that vote on this, where there's 7 cabinet secretaries. One of those votes happened to be the State Department, and there are also 2 administrative officials from the Nuclear Regulatory Agency, or the Commission, rather, excuse me. Hillary was one of those votes. So if Hillary were to sway this commission, that means she would have to sort of be in collusion with all 8 other members and say, now you guys all need to vote the way I'm telling you to vote so I can help my husband benefit this one donor who, at the time, this one particular donor had divested all of his funds in Uranium One to begin with.
But you understand that it raises questions that at the same time, a bank connected to this paid Bill Clinton $500,000 for a speech, and then millions of dollars flowed into the Clinton Foundation from groups connected to this deal. So that's under investigation.
Right, but the individual, this all comes from a book called Clinton Cash, right? And the individual they're talking about had divested his interest 2 years prior to this deal even happening.
All right, Richard, wouldn't you agree that all of those agencies that had a part in this should have known that there was an active investigation about blackmail and payoffs? Don't you think that those agencies who made this decision about the uranium
saying this was a good decision.
should have known that Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation, and shouldn't have Congress known? That's the other problem. The Obama administration and all of those agencies, the Justice Department, withheld information to the Intelligence Committee. That's what should be investigated.
We got to leave it there. And by the way, there are 2 House committees investigating this, and who knows if the feds are or not. We'll find out.
But the feds investigated in 2015. That's the point I'm trying to make.
All right, we're back with more right after this.
Beaches, Turks, and Caicos was created with everyone in mind. That's why everyone thinks it was created just for them. And it was. Generation Everyone.
Yeah, all about a good time. Yeah, all about a good life. You won't believe it.
Believe it. That's why we've been voted world's best 19 years in a row. Beaches, Turks, and Caicos, the #1 all-inclusive family resort. Call 1-800-BEACHES.
My lower back was just crushing with pain.
From my back pocket to my foot was like a lava flow down that sciatic nerve.
There comes a point with chronic pain where it gets so loud in your head that it's like you can't focus on anything else.
Wherever your chronic pain is, it can be managed from here with Quell. From this optimal stimulation point, the revolutionary Quell technology accesses the central nervous system. It sends precise neural pulses to the brain that trigger your body's own natural pain blockers. Quell is 100% drug-free, FDA cleared, and doctor recommended. It can be used day and night, even while you sleep. Best of all, for 4 out of 5 people, it works.
All of a sudden, I had this aha moment that I don't feel pain anywhere in my body. Anywhere.
I'm doing things that I used to do, and I'm a happier, healthier guy. My whole life's turned around.
And 2 out of 3 people reported a reduction in their pain medications with Quell.
And she said, you know, you haven't refilled your prescriptions in a while because I have one of these.
That I can focus on my life, and I can work, and I can do things.
Quell was developed by Neurometrics with origins in the labs of MIT. Its patented neurotechnology automatically adjusts dosage to deliver optimal pain relief. Quell is easy to use and up to 10 times more powerful than ordinary TENS devices. It's strong enough to deliver widespread relief just by wearing it here, so it doesn't restrict you and you can get back to living your life. Call the number on your screen to order Quell now. We'll even include free shipping. Quell's pain-relieving effects build over time. Use daily for 30 days, and if you're not satisfied, return for a full refund. You have nothing to lose except the pain that is holding you back. Reclaim your life from chronic pain with Quell.
Call 1-800-375-5510 or go to buyquell.com to order now.
Now, everyone in America who uses catheters can get a catheter that's best for them with Liberator Medical. Today, there are more catheters than ever before. Like the ready-to-use catheters, pre-lubricated right out of the package. Compact travel catheters, feminine, discreet. Closed system catheters, comfortable, easy to control. Antibacterial catheters help reduce the risk of UTIs. Men's Coude tip catheters, curved tip for ease of use. Men's pocket catheters, U-shaped, fits in your pocket. All-in-one catheters, convenient, easy to use. Call Liberator Medical. You can sample as many types of catheters as you need to find the catheter that's best for you. And you can depend.
News Channel.
His break room contained a pamphlet.
I will not accept and reject accusations that I have ever lied. That is a lie.
What's it going to take to actually get a special counsel?
It will take a factual basis.
And this is what makes the American people sick. This notion that there is one set of rules for the Clintons and another set of rules for everybody else.
Let's stop picking winners and losers. Let's get rid of a lot of these discrete loopholes and just use that money to lower rates across the board.
Authorities say 4 people plus the gunman are dead after a series of shootings at multiple locations in Northern California. An unknown number of people are wounded, including some children from an elementary school.
Some crazy person. Some crazy. That's all you can explain is some crazy person. Because why? They just targeting innocent people and shooting them? Who in their right mind would do such a thing?
This has got to stop. And we will hunt this person down until we find them.
To you, you're watching Fox and Friends First, about 4 a.m. here on the East Coast on this Wednesday morning. I'm Heather Childers, and as always, we appreciate you joining us. It is full steam ahead, as you just heard right there, for some of the House Republicans, just days before they plan to vote on President Trump's historic tax plan. This as the Senate announces a big change to their plan that's making some Democrats, as you can expect, furious. Like what doesn't? Griff Jenkins joins us now live to break it all down for us. Good morning, Griff. What's the latest?
Good morning, Heather. Quite a big surprise here in Washington. Just when you thought the effort to repeal Obamacare was dead, Senate Republicans shot Capitol Hill and announced they're taking another swing at it. Majority Leader Mitch McConnell announcing that they will insert the individual mandate repeal in the Senate's tax plan. But House Republicans, who are set to vote on their tax plan tomorrow, will not include the Obamacare repeal. At an exclusive town hall last night on Fox News, Speaker Ryan explained why.
Obviously, we're in favor of repealing the individual mandate, but we didn't want to needlessly complicate the passage of tax reform, given we did not have the votes before to get this through the Senate. So we want to see the Senate go first and see if they can get that done, and then we'll discuss whether or not it gets included at the end.
Now, the other problem for Ryan is that House leadership has already whipped the bill, which they are confident will pass tomorrow, despite some differences with members in high tax states upset with the SALT elimination. And now adding anything new would jeopardize that passage. And don't expect Democrats to play a role. Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi says this bill is disastrous for the middle class.
This tax plan is predicated on a budget that does violence to our country's future as well as to the well-being of America's working families.
And last night, Speaker Paul Ryan responded to that criticism.
Let's stop picking winners and losers. Let's get rid of a lot of these discrete loopholes, which are disproportionately enjoyed by very high-income people. It's the people who itemize. And just use that money to lower rates across the board.
All right, so where do things stand, Heather? As for the Senate bill, that's currently sitting in the Finance Committee, where it's expected to pass out of committee at some point this week. Then, if both chambers can pass their bills, then and only then they could try and compromise the two into one, and that's when the House includes this Obamacare repeal in a final bill.
So what I'm hearing there is a lot more work to be done. That's what I'm hearing you're saying. Yeah.
A lot more work to be done. Votes in the House tomorrow, maybe in the Senate next week.
Yeah, maybe. All right. Thank you very much, Griff. Appreciate it. Well, a number of Americans, as you can imagine, they're worried that under the new plan, their taxes will go up. Watch what happens when our very own Martha McCallum asks a studio audience in that exclusive town hall with Speaker Paul Ryan whether they had any concerns.
I want to ask for a show of hands. If you are in this group tonight and you think that you might end up actually paying more under this plan, raise your hands.
Well, a number of people raising their hands. Mark Thiessen, American Enterprise Institute scholar, says that while Paul Ryan may have sold the tax plan well, this is a big problem for Americans.
I think he did a great job of selling his plan. The problem he faced were all those people, when you asked your audience, how many of you think your taxes are going to go up? And a lot of hands went up. This is a big problem for the Republicans if people think that their taxes are going to go up under this bill. When I worked for George W. Bush, when he was pushing the Bush tax cut in 2001, he was able to go out and say every American will get a tax cut. Paul Ryan couldn't say that tonight. He said the average American will see, in every income bracket, will see their taxes go down. But that means some of them will see their taxes go up. When no American in this country should ever be able to utter the words, Republicans raised my taxes, and that's the problem that they are dealing with in selling this bill.
Well, congressional Republicans still aiming to get the tax legislation to President Trump's desk by the end of the year, which you heard Griff say earlier. Well, Attorney General Jeff Sessions in other news testifying in a fiery House hearing, vowing that he never lied under oath about Russia. But the nation's top law enforcement official won't say whether Hillary Clinton will face a brand new investigation over that Uranium One deal. Jackie Ibanez is here now to take us through that testimony. Good morning, Jackie. What's the latest?
Hey, good morning, Heather. Well, Attorney General Jeff Sessions not revealing all of his cards just yet when it comes to Hillary Clinton, but what he is making clear, he never lied about his contacts with Russia during the Trump presidential campaign.
In all of my testimony, I can only do my best to answer your questions as I understand them and to the best of my memory. But I will not accept and reject accusations that I have ever lied. That is a lie. Let me be clear. I have at all times conducted myself honorably.
In a marathon hearing with the House Judiciary Committee, Sessions fiercely putting an end to any confusion for Democrats about previous statements on contact between the Trump campaign and Russian officials.
You're accusing me of lying about that? I say that's not fair, Mr. Jeffries. I would say that's not fair, colleagues.
As for if a special counsel should be appointed to look into the Clinton Foundation and the Uranium One, well, a deal that gave Russia control of a big part of the U.S. uranium market when Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State, that door not closed just yet.
Do I have your assurance that these matters will proceed fairly and expeditiously?
Yes, you can, Mr. Chairman, and you can be sure that they will be done without political influence, and they'll be done correctly and properly.
The Department of Justice has since put out a statement to further explain Attorney General Jeff Sessions' comments. It says, quote, the Attorney General was clarifying the legal basis for appointing special counsel, not passing judgment on whether it applied in any specific investigation. Republicans also pushing for Sessions to appoint a special counsel to investigate James Comey and that unverified Trump dossier. Heather?
All right, Jackie Ibanez live for us this morning. I'm sure a lot more to come on this front.
Yes,
right.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Nice to have you. Well, after Sessions' testimony, still no answer on whether a special counsel would be appointed to look into Hillary Clinton and the Uranium One deal. Congressman Matt Gaetz says that people are fed up over the special rules set for the Clintons.
Just like you're frustrated, Sean, we're frustrated. We've been calling for 3.5 months for an investigation into these scandals because if we allow them to continue, we erode the rule of law. This is what makes the American people sick. This notion that there is one set of rules for the Clintons and another set of rules for everybody else. If you look at this investigation, when we look at this investigation, you've got the very people who may have been involved in keeping information from Congress, keeping information from the CFIUS process, but they're in the process of investigating the President of the United States. They're undermining our democracy now when they very well may be witnesses to the actual collusion with one of the participants in the 2016 election, Hillary Clinton.
Well, don't miss Congressman Matt Gaetz. He will be live this morning right here on Fox and Friends, and that is coming up at 5:15. And now to this Fox News alert. A massive manhunt underway for a violent psychopath killer after escaping from a mental hospital. Randall Saito was found not guilty in a brutal 1979 murder by reason of insanity. Well, hospital officials in Hawaii say that they don't know how he got out, but surveillance cameras show him walking out and then jumping into a cab. Well, Saito then chartered a plane to Maui under a different name before flying to San Jose, California, where his family lives. And staying in California, some new information this morning on why gunmen opened fire at 7 different locations, including a school, killing 4 people. Well, California police say that officials quickly locked down Rancho Tehama Elementary School after hearing some gunshots nearby. The unidentified shooter then rammed his car into a fence and then opened fire on the building before trying to break in, but thankfully it was locked. He then became frustrated, and they say that he drove his car randomly shooting at people on the street before being shot and killed by police. Authorities say that it started with a dispute with a neighbor.
This is an individual that armed himself, I think with the motive of getting even with his neighbors. And when it went that far, he just went on a rampage.
10 people, including 2 children, are injured. Well, Alabama Senate candidate Roy Moore continues to deny sexual misconduct allegations despite losing GOP support.
What do you think I'm going to do? Why do you think they're giving me this trouble? Why do you think I'm being harassed by media and by people pushing forward allegations?
Well, that was Moore speaking last night after the RNC pulled its fundraising agreement amid some allegations from 5 women, including one who was 14 at the time. But a poll by Fox 10 in Alabama shows Moore ahead of opponent Doug Jones by 6 points. 8% are undecided. Meanwhile, Alabama voters say that they're getting fake robocalls claiming to be from a Washington Post reporter offering women thousands of dollars for damaging information against Moore. With the Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson, landing in Myanmar just hours ago, he is meeting with the country's top leaders to talk about the country's humanitarian crisis. The government there accused of ethnic cleansing by military force, causing more than 600,000 Muslim citizens to flee. Some U.S. senators are calling for economic sanctions and travel restrictions. And those 3 UCLA basketball players, they're back on U.S. soil this morning. Their last names are Ball, Hill, and Riley, and they were detained for nearly a week in their hotel room in China after allegedly shoplifting. The terms of their release are not known, but the university could still punish them and may not let them play in their season opener at home tonight. President Trump personally asking the Chinese president to help resolve the case during his trip to Asia. Well, the time right now is about 12 minutes after the top of the hour, and a Fox News alert. Serial killer strikes again. A Florida neighborhood on edge as a 4th person is mysteriously murdered.
This has got to stop, and we will hunt this person down until we find them.
Our next guest is a former homicide detective, Ted Williams, taking a closer look at the case. Up next. Plus, 6 foreigners with ties to terror slipping through the system. The brand new proof America needs President Trump's extreme vetting policies now more than ever. And they're back and exploding once again. The brand new warning about hoverboards just ahead of the holidays.
And we're gonna let it burn, burn, burn. We're gonna let it burn, burn, burn.
Not again. The power is out, and if it doesn't come on soon, you're stuck holding that flashlight all night. Hi, I'm Hunter Ellis, and this is the Atomic Beam Lantern, the new tough grade lantern that's stronger and brighter than other lights. And now the technology used by U.S. Special Forces is available at home. Just pull it open to turn it on. You'll get 360 degrees of super bright light. Close it to turn it off, and it retracts into its combat-ready case. It's super light and packs up tight. Look, flashlights shine a beam in one direction. Other lanterns use standard LEDs that look white but are not bright. But we use the brand new Atomic Beam LED flat panels that are blazing bright. They throw a massive amount of light in every direction. Look at the difference. It's so tough, it can survive this blast. So bright, it can be seen for miles. So strong, it can survive a 50-foot fall. It's the ultimate light for camping and hiking. Perfect in the truck or on the boat. And these new Atomic Beam LED panels can last a lifetime without burning out. We'll even upgrade you to a magnetic base, free. Stick it upside down. It holds on tight and still shines bright.
Look, this tactical lantern costs $3. But you can get the Atomic Beam Lantern for just $19.99 through this TV offer. Call right now and you can get a second Atomic Lantern and Atomic Beam USA, the best-selling tactical flashlight. It's ultra bright and withstands the toughest punishment. Just pay a separate fee. It gets better. All of today's orders get shipped to you for free and come with our extended lifetime guarantee.
Previously murdered a 60-year-old man. He was on his way to help feed the homeless. He did that every morning. He was shot and killed in broad daylight, and police now believe that his death is linked to 3 October murders that occurred in the same Tampa neighborhood. So are investigators piecing together the clues at all? I mean, what's the progress that they're making on this? Here now to weigh in on that is former homicide detective and Fox News contributor Ted Williams. Thank you very much for joining us this morning, Ted.
My pleasure.
So this latest murder brings the number to 4. And this happened around, 5 a.m. yesterday. The man, he normally worked construction. He was out of a job. He was volunteering at a homeless shelter there in the area, walking there when this happened. Tell us what we know so far that brings these 4 together.
Well, you know, this is so sad, Heather. This is law enforcement's worst nightmare of trying to put and composite together a profile of who is committing this crime. And what we've so far learned is that this man yesterday morning was walking to this place that he was going to be serving food, and he was killed. Now what we have, there was an eyewitness who saw a black male approximately 6 feet tall, light skin. That is going to help law enforcement tremendously in this investigation. What is going to break this case are the citizens in that community and a possible mistake by this killer.
But there is a little bit of a difference, though, because the 3 previous murders, they happened after these individuals had gotten off the bus, and they also happened in the evening. But as a result of that, they believe the discrepancies in time that the suspect may live somewhere in the area or maybe hiding in the area.
Absolutely. I would have to believe that this person lives somewhere in the area. The common thread is that this happened at night. Now, the latest one happened early in the morning, but it was still while it was dark out.
That's true.
So they are clearly looking at individuals who perhaps maybe just got out of jail, someone who has some kind of a mental problem. But I would have to believe that law enforcement believes that he lives in the community, and he could very well be someone homeless. So they are asking for help from the community to bring this person to justice.
I understand they're asking people that live in the community to check their own weapons if they have them, any guns in their house, make sure that they are secured and they're not missing. They're also asking children who live within this specific perimeter to not go out to bus stops and to stay home. So obviously residents on alert, and you say that they may be the key in breaking this?
Oh, absolutely, Heather. Somebody knows something in that community. When you have this kind of activity over a period of time, sooner or later, what law enforcement are looking at is for that person to make a mistake, and he will make a mistake. And the fact about it is, now that they're looking at a light-skinned black 6-foot-tall individual that somewhat fits the description of the person of interest that they've been looking at, this helps them tremendously, and they will bring this person to justice sooner or later.
Yeah, I know the mayor of Tampa said this is personal. This has got to stop, certainly, before any other lives are lost. Ted, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We always appreciate your insight.
My pleasure.
Well, the time now is about 20 minutes after the top of the hour, and a popular party game jumping off store shelves and right into liberal politics. The move, Cards Against Humanity, that's what it's called, just made, to try and stop President Trump's border wall. And do you remember when CNN took aim at our commander-in-chief with this ad campaign?
This is a distraction. But while the distraction might grab your attention, it will never change the fact that this is an apple.
Well, Carly Shimkus here live with what is trending up next.
Let's talk about how much I don't love to cook. I'm always staring at the cupboard, or what do we have? Do we have ingredients?
Dinner time is definitely the most stressful time of my life.
Fortunately for you, Omaha Steaks has partnered with Crock-Pot, the original slow cooker, to create complete slow cooker meals. They're delicious, take no preparation, and are ready when you get home.
You cut the bag open, you put it in, turn it on, and you let it cook. It doesn't get any easier than that.
Leaving, doing all my errands, picking the kids up, coming home, dinner made. It was honestly the best day ever.
Order the Omaha Steaks Crock-Pot Family Meal Deal for only $59.95. This special combo price includes 3 complete slow cooker meals that serve 4 people. That's $5 per serving. Plus, order now and we'll include a 2-pound Omaha Steaks Chuck Tender Beef Roast free. That's a $24.99 value.
You've got your meats and vegetables and rice and beans and everything all put together, and the spices and herbs that they use. It's amazing.
All of these meats are so tender, if it was on a bone, it would be falling off the bone.
Selections include juicy beef bourguignon, braised rustic Italian beef stew, hearty chicken and dumplings, rich rustic French stew, zesty Cuban mojo pork, and white chicken chili, plus more meal choices online.
It was like a hearty meal, but it was really light tasting.
You can taste the seasonings, you can taste the freshness of the vegetables.
It tastes like a really good home-cooked meal.
This is definitely something that I would recommend to anybody.
And it fits every level. The new couple, the empty nesters like ourselves, or if you had active children coming and going at different times and parents coming home at different times from work, it would always be ready.
It would be such a good gift to send to someone. They would be so lucky.
For a limited time, you can order any 3 meals for just $59.95 and get a premium aged Omaha Steaks 2-pound Chuck Tender Beef Roast absolutely free. That's a $24.99 value.
Pour them straight from your freezer into your slow cooker. No prep, no work, no worries.
I knew this was going to simplify my life.
Crock-Pot meals exclusively from Omaha Steaks. It's dinner solved. Order now.
Tomorrow, a how-to guide for dealing with the Dems' DACA demands. Plus, Peter Schweitzer unearths the latest in the Uranium One controversy. Next, Ingram Engel.
Santa set down Max's gifts by a tree, but stopping at Quick Jack thought, what could this be? A portable car lift with self-locking bars that fits at the lift points of most trucks and cars? Push-button controls make it easy to lift. This Quick Jack should be my own holiday gift. So he slipped it back slow and snuck off with the jack. And nothing was merry that morning for Max. But at QuickJack.com, we have savings for you. Enter Holiday Steal and your wish will come true.
Have you ever seen something so beautiful that all you could say was, wow? Or walked on the world's best beach? At a place that made you feel like you were in a dream, where family comes first and fun is measured one ride at a time.
They're all about a good life.
Where you're served like royalty, but treated like family.
Beaches, Turks, and Caicos, where anything is possible because everything is included. Wow. Get up to 65% off. Call 1-800-BEACHES.
Well, do you remember when CNN took aim at President Trump, launching the ad campaign Facts First? Well, they're now taking that one step further.
This is a distraction. But while the distraction might grab your attention, it will never change the fact that this is an apple.
Well, social media not impressed. Carly Shimkus with Fox News Headlines 24/7. Sirius XM 115 is here with the outrage online. Good morning, Carly.
Good morning. That's right. So CNN created some buzz last month for their Facts First campaign, which featured an image of an apple and a voiceover guy encouraging people not to be misled from the truth. Well, that ad was seen as a clear swipe at President Trump, who oftentimes calls CNN fake news. Well, as you just saw, they created an update to that ad to involve chattering teeth, which is supposed to represent a distraction. But Trump supporters are now biting back. Austin says, and you don't provide any facts, hashtag fake news. The president does. Tucker tweeted, it's like CNN is asking to be made fun of, saying something like this, or they have the most insane case of denial ever in history. And another Twitter user says, this is funny. They're trying so hard when all they have to do is just report the news. So, Heather, that ad campaign continues on into November.
Well, or you could say the chattering teeth could turn the apple into the core.
That's true.
Get to the core of the issue.
That is very meta.
Maybe,
I love that.
Yeah.
Very, very smart.
I was an English major. What can I say? All right, so socialists at Kent State, they refuse to take part in capitalist versus socialist food drive.
Yeah, a canned food drive became controversial at Kent State University. So two capitalist groups invited socialist students to a canned food face-off to kind of bury the political hatchet for the greater good. Well, the socialist students denied that request, issuing this tweet. They say, while this event would benefit the public greatly, we at Young Democratic Socialists of America do not work with organizations that promote or endorse figures who do promote sexism, racism, homophobia, transphobia, Zionism, or any other intolerant, dangerous belief. Therefore, it is against our principles to work with either capitalist groups. Yikes. The socialist students also said that the reason we have food drives to begin with is because of capitalism. So this whole situation is really creating a lot of buzz on social media. One Twitter user says, I suggest that the socialist groups be given a one-way trip to Venezuela so they can fully experience and embrace the joys of socialism.
Yeah, things not going well in Venezuela right now.
No, not at all.
So we talked a little bit about this going on yesterday at this Chick-fil-A in Georgia. As many chicken nuggets as you can eat, and one man decided to live tweet it.
Yeah, so, you know, a lot of people, some people inspire through art, others through athletic achievements. A guy named Robbie Callan decided to do so by eating 82 chicken nuggets. Let's take a look at his progress. There, 12 gone. Then he reached all the way to 69. That's his 69th nugget. Did he reach 82? Yes, he did. He was successful. So we here at Fox and Friends, Robbie, we commend you.
Right. So one more than Kobe's career high.
That's
right.
What he was
one
going
more
for. Nugget than Kobe's career high in points.
Yes. So did he win? That's what I wonder.
I think he just won pride, social media pride.
Yes.
And a full belly.
Thank you, Carly.
Thanks a lot.
Mentioned by you. No less.
Thanks a lot.
Well, the time now is about almost 30 minutes after the top of the hour, and President Trump's tough talk during his trip to Asia already producing some results. The move Congress just made to help combat North Korea. And for all the voters still crying over Hillary Clinton's election loss, here's your next vacation destination. An anti-Trump hotel marketing itself as a safe haven for liberals. Good idea or just another way to divide America? We debate it up next.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Well, today we're going to see one for ourselves and let you be the judge. It's called Plexiderm, and lifestyle expert Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says This one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video that the viewers can watch while you and I talk so they can actually see how this works. And you'll notice the model has bags underneath his eyes and some sagging, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face, and that's how easy it is.
All right, what's the active ingredient?
Okay, so it's silicates that are minerals found in shale rock. They take this out of the shale rock, and what it does is it tightens and lifts the bags underneath your eyes in as little as 5 minutes, no prescriptions and very little effort. Even watching the video, this is a real, it's a model, but it's a real guy with real bags underneath his eyes. And I did this to my father. We were at home. I had the timer on and we were screaming. 4 minutes, 34 seconds, completely gone.
I can't even believe that this worked. I was a little skeptical, I am not going to lie, because I saw people online with it and I'm like, yeah, right, that can't possibly work. Honestly, it really works. I'm telling you, it really works.
And not only does it work on the bags, it works on crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles. So it targets all those problem areas.
So this would be a daily thing or just when you want to like get rid of the bags and you would your morning routine?
It absolutely could be a daily thing, but the way you want to do it is you want to have a clean, dry face. You use a small amount because it's so powerful. Apply it underneath your eyes, fine line wrinkles. You have high school reunions, you have events you want to go to, you want to look years younger. This is it.
Try it now and get up to 50% off the normal retail price, plus get free shipping. Visit Plexiderm.com or call the number on your screen and watch the transformation happen to you.
My name is Scott Jordan. My problem? I had tons of stuff to carry, but no easy way to do it. So I started Scotty Vest. At Scotty Vest, we make great-looking clothing with tons of hidden pockets and unique features. Now, you can carry all your stuff hands-free while looking great. Gadget lovers, use our pockets for your cell phone, charging cables, and even port our safe.
President, seen as a threat to the succession plans of Mugabe's wife, Grace, sometimes called Gucci Grace for her extravagant shopping habits. Mugabe is the longest-serving African leader and at 93, the oldest. The Trump administration has pointed out at least 6 foreigners involved in terrorist activity have entered the U.S. under the visa lottery program in recent years. This is the same program that allowed Sayfullo Saipov, the Uzbek immigrant who plowed his truck into people on a bicycle path in Lower Manhattan on Halloween, killing 8. One of those who used the same program to go to America, another Uzbek national who's doing a 15-year jail term after pleading guilty to providing material support to ISIS. There is a rising chorus of voices saying this lottery, which attempts to diversify immigration to the U.S., is a failed policy and that the U.S. must return to a merit-based system. Finally, yesterday, the House passed a $700 billion compromise defense policy bill, which allows for military spending above what President Trump has even requested. Included in that budget, more spending for missile defense to counter the North Korean threat. And interestingly, Heather, China has just announced that it is dispatching a high-level diplomat to Pyongyang. First time it's done that in a very long time. No detail given about the visit, but this may be the bearing of fruit after President Trump's visit with Chinese leader Xi Jinping last week in Beijing. Heather.
All right, Amy Kellogg live for us with our international headlines again this morning. Thank you. Well, back at home, it has been their rally cry since President Trump took over the White House.
He should not be the president of the United States of America, and we got to get ready for impeachment.
ImpeachDonaldTrumpNow.com.
Well, now House Democrats are at it again. Congressman Steve Cohen and Congressman Luis Gutierrez leading a new charge today in what might be the broadest effort to impeach the president. They're citing President Trump's response to the deadly white supremacist marches in Charlottesville, Virginia, but have not said on what grounds. And more deadlock in their bribery trial of New Jersey Democrat Senator Bob Menendez. His lawyers now urging the judge to declare a mistrial as jurors return today for more deliberations after several days without a decision. And Menendez is accused of taking free flights and other gifts from Florida doctor Salomon Melgen in exchange for political favors. And here's some fake news for you, courtesy of the Kremlin. Russian intelligence claimed to have proof that the United States is helping ISIS. Only problem is, their evidence is from a video game. Russia's defense ministry posting this photo on social media saying that it shows the U.S.-led coalition helping an ISIS convoy. But people on the internet quickly pointing out that it's a screenshot from this military mobile game that's called AC-130 Gunship Simulator. So that's some fake news for you right there. And the game that's called Cards Against Humanity is releasing an anti-Trump holiday stunt aimed at, they say, saving America.
On the first day of the campaign, Cards Against Humanity purchased acres of land on the U.S.-Mexico border and didn't build a wall on it.
The popular game asking players to donate $15 in exchange for 6 America Savings Surprises. One of the gifts, a certificate of the company's purchase of land at the border to help keep the wall from being built. The promotion has already sold out. Well, what is being called the nation's first politically motivated hotel is set to open its doors in Washington, D.C. next year. And the owners say that it's going to be a safe space for liberals. Is this what America really needs? Well, here to debate is Republican strategist Chris Prudhomme and liberal analyst Kathy Aru. Thank you both for joining us this morning.
Thanks.
So let's talk about this. I mean, is no place sacred now? A hotel becoming politically inclined? Kathy, I'll start with you.
Well, they're saying that since you have the Trump Hotel in Washington, D.C., that they should have the opposite. They should have something for liberals. Conservatives can go to Trump Hotel, so now the liberals can go to the Eaton Hotel. And they say that the minibar is going to be stocked with activist toolkits and everything you need to know to be an activist.
So forget relaxing on your vacation, right?
Right,
Chris?
exactly.
Chris, what do you think?
So, well, first of all, let me just say this. It's time that American society that we have to get back to being genuine people. We have to start caring. This, to me, opens up the door for many segregated activities. First of all, the Trump Hotel is not deemed specifically only for conservative individuals. This particular hotel, Eden Workshop, is designed for liberals. It's liberal activities. They have artwork in which we have an artist participate in activities which they will showcase in the windows from the exterior of the hotel. All of this promotes and incites anger. It promotes from opposing parties. To me, it's just not a way we bring America together. It's time to end the divide and stop being divisive. Catherine Lowe, the owner of the hotel, had just told Bloomberg that this is not intended to bring the left and the right together. Well, it's time to bring America together. That's what President Trump and others always talk about, is bringing America together.
I cannot imagine anything worse than getting into your bed and seeing your sheets. From what I understand, your sheets are going to tell you how to contact your local congressman.
Right. Yeah, that's the whole point. It's a themed hotel, and the theme is anti-Trump. The theme is, come on, liberals. We know you're visiting Washington, D.C. You may not be happy with the vibe, how it feels, because everyone knows with every administration, the vibe of D.C. changes. So it feels very Republican, conservative, right-wing. So now they're going to have a safe haven, a themed hotel for liberals.
See, now I tend to disagree with that, though,
really?
Chris. I mean, Kathy, do you really think that Washington, D.C. right now is pro-President Trump?
You feel it, absolutely. I've covered a few administrations. And you could feel the vibe change in the city. It felt very Texas with Bush. It felt very Chicago, Illinois with Obama. So, yeah, it feels very Trump right now.
Chris, do you agree?
No, I certainly don't. And I think at the end of the day, it certainly is not that way. And this is not how we're going to bring America together. This is not how we're going to continue to get things done. What kind of example are we setting for our kids, children that are going to be coming on college trips, high school trips? Do we say to them, oh, we'll just go stay at the Eden Workshop Hotel where you can be who you want to be? Like, no, we have to start to work together. This is a hotel, and the owner, Catherine Lowe, has really been adamant about not working together. This is not designed for conservatives. Look, a person should not have to feel when you walk into a location that you're not welcome.
Yeah,
absolutely right. So if that's the case, let's just really be upfront. If that's the case, we're opening up the door for enhanced segregated activity. So then we say, well, Black Lives Matter can have theirs, the white nationalists can have theirs. No, this is opening up the door for much conversation that is extremely unnecessary, and it's dividing America apart. We are not setting an example for our children across America, and frankly are not setting an example for getting back to what's important most, which is what God wants us to be, is working together, being nice to each other as human beings.
Reading through all this, I was wondering, though, and we have to wrap up, where she said, the owner, she said that she likens the hotel to a nonprofit, but better. So I'm wondering, in terms of funding, is she going to try to get some government funding for all of this? That'll be interesting to find out.
Right.
for sure.
Yeah. We don't know.
All right. Thank you both for joining us, Chris, Kathy. Have a great day.
Thanks.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And forget hackers, it's children that you need to worry about. The security problems with Apple's iPhone X. That cute little faces are actually cracking.
You know, they say you can get 4 glasses of wine out of 1 bottle. I only get like 1.5.
1 glass or 4. It's okay. Go ahead and indulge the brand new diet wine that is worthy of a toast this morning, they say.
I personally guarantee that my pillow will be the most comfortable pillow you'll ever own. It's machine washable and dryable, comes with a 10-year warranty and my 60-day money-back guarantee. Go to mypillow.com or call now to order one of my pillows. Use the promo code and I'll give you a second MyPillow absolutely free.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
Spokesperson for Barron and Bud. Attention, if you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call Barron and Bud right now. Over $30 billion has been set aside for mesothelioma victims.
Call Barron and Bud for a free consultation right now. Your family may qualify for a share of the billions of dollars already in these trust funds, even if your loved one has passed on.
Mesothelioma is a horrific disease that no one deserves. It makes life extremely hard on you and your entire family. Call Barron and Bud. They know the struggles of caring for someone with mesothelioma.
You don't have to sue anyone. Billions of dollars in trust funds are waiting to compensate victims of mesothelioma.
Make things easier for your whole family. Call Barron and Bud. The call and advice are free.
Call 1-800-413-0751. That's 1-800-413-0751. Or visit talkmeso.com.
Welcome back. Outrage brewing after an active duty service member received gender reassignment surgery on the taxpayer's dime. The Pentagon confirming that it was paid for by the military's health coverage because the doctor deemed it, quote, medically necessary. The procedure was done in a private hospital. Gender reassignment surgery can cost up to $50,000, by the way. And then there's this, kind of related, a landmark change coming from the Church of England when it comes to exploring gender identity. In a new directive issued to its nearly 5,000 schools, new guidelines state, quote, a child may choose the tutu, princess's tiara and heels, and or the fireman's helmet, tool belt, and superhero cloak without expectation or comment. The updates are an effort to combat bullying based on sexual orientation. And now to this Fox Business Alert for you. At this hour, nearly 14,000 hoverboards pulled off store shelves just ahead of the holidays because they could explode and burn down your home. Tracy Crosco from our sister network, Fox Business, here with what you need to know. Good morning, Tracy. So more problems for hoverboards.
Yes, you know, if you're thinking about buying someone one of these for the holidays, you might want to think twice. 8 more hoverboard brands have been issued warnings and recalls. There they are on your screen for causing 2 house fires. One of them was fatal. Now, as you said, it is the battery that causes these fires, these hoverboards to explode. And you can take, if you have one of them, you can take it back to the store, get a refund, store credit, or a replacement.
And some problems with the NutriBullet as well. And I was just looking yesterday because someone in my apartment building is selling a NutriBullet.
Oh, wow.
Maybe this is why.
You know, this is really scary. So right now, 14 people are suing NutriBullet because they say it can burst open. Basically, the speed of the bullets of the blades causes heat, and then that heat causes pressure, and then it will detach from the main part of the NutriBullet. So one woman said that she was using it for 20 seconds, and it basically detached. This can cause burns, cuts. NutriBullet says that it doesn't happen, that they're disputing these claims and say that it's caused by user error.
Well, regardless, you don't want to be able to have that type of error for it to be able to happen anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so Weight Watchers, they're debuting a diet wine.
Yes, you know, Weight Watchers, they say that wine is the second most tracked beverage on its app. So they wanted to make something for its users to drink and still enjoy wine. So
Well, the tall, blue-eyed country singer saying that his girlfriend of 2 years
that fits at the lift points of most trucks and cars. Push-button controls make it easy to lift. This quick jack should be my own holiday gift. So he slipped it back slow and snuck off with the jack. And nothing was merry that morning for Max. But at QuickJack.com, we have savings for you. Enter Holiday Steal and your wish will come true.
Even though I've been using catheters for 15 years, I gotta tell you, Liberator Medical has made it a whole lot easier.
Call Liberator Medical for free samples of innovative catheters, like the men's catheter that lubricates itself. And for convenient out-of-home use, there's the discreet men's pocket catheter. Get free samples of these innovative catheters for men. Call Liberator Medical, a C.R. Bard Incorporated company.
1-800-611-5688. Beaches, Turks, and Caicos was created with everyone in mind. That's why everyone thinks it was created just for them. And it was. Generation Everyone.
Yeah, all about a good time. Yeah, all about a good life. You won't believe it.
Believe it. That's why we've been voted world's best 19 years in a row. Beaches, Turks, and Caicos, the #1 all-inclusive family resort. Call 1-800-BEACHES.
My world spins fast, but I wouldn't change a thing. I wear many hats: mother, daughter, and wife. Being a visiting angel is a big part of my life. I love providing the care that George needs now that he lives alone. Visiting angels gives me the confidence, work experience, and support to be the best caregiver possible.
Visiting Angels, America's choice in home care.
Well, a biological big brother, a brand new pill just approved by the FDA, will now track whether people have taken their medications and report back to the patient or the doctor. And while some people are on board, others think that it's a privacy violation of sorts and that it's a little too hard to swallow. And joining us now to discuss is radiologist Dr. Nicole Saphier. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning, Heather.
So right away, what do you think about it? Good idea, bad idea?
Great idea. Great idea, but we're going to need some improvements in the future.
Okay.
Currently, this has been something that's been going on in the works for a few years. The FDA just cleared this new medication, which is aripiprazole, also known as Abilify, used to treat predominantly schizophrenia. And in it is the size of a sand. Inside the tablet is essentially a microchip that'll tell you if the pill makes it to the stomach or not.
Because the problem is, I guess, these particular types of patients not taking their medication when they should.
Yes, non-adherence or non-compliance prevalence in the schizophrenic population is a major concern. Up to 80% of people with schizophrenia don't take their medications appropriately. And what this will actually do is tell the physician if they're taking the medication. Now, it has not been shown to increase compliance, but one of the biggest causes of medical waste is psychiatrists and physicians changing patients' medications because they think the medications aren't working, because the patients are saying, well, we're actually taking the medication. Now there's proof, if not, the patient is taking the medication.
So it would help determine if the medication works or not as well, because you would know if the patient was actually taking it.
Correct.
But so far, just this one medication being used for this. Do you see this possibly expanding?
Well, it has to. I mean, absolutely. And, you know, as we were speaking earlier during the break, could this have a role in addiction medicine and treating narcotics and making sure patients are utilizing medication appropriately?
Right.
Absolutely. And I'm excited to see where this is going to go.
Yeah, because if you could determine if they've taken it, then maybe the next step would be if they've taken too much or they've taken the wrong dosage, that type of thing.
That's right. And the way it works is inside of your stomach, the stomach acids react with it, and it sends a small level pulse to a patch that you wear on your skin, and that patch transmits to your iPhone. It can go to your physician. You can have it. And also, so the pill coupled with behavioral modification or therapy where you have positive reinforcements showing that you're taking something, I think will have great long-term effects.
It seems so scary, though. It seems like something right out of a sci-fi movie, that someone could actually control your thoughts or what you're doing. You know, you're taking it to an extreme step.
I mean, that's just the era we're going into. Everything's digitized. We have healthcare trackers.
In your body.
Well, you know, we have virtual colonoscopy. Yeah. We have other methods right now where you actually take a capsule and a camera's going through your system. And this is just the new generation of healthcare and tech.
All right, Fitbit to the extreme.
Exactly.
Exactly. All right, Dr. Sapphire, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it, as always. Well, the time now is about 6 minutes until the top of the hour. And beware if drones and fidget spinners are on the holiday wish list for your kids this year. The list of most dangerous toys just released. And making your pets last a lifetime by cloning, the sci-fi fantasy turning into a bizarre reality. That is straight ahead.
I've always wanted to get my teeth fixed. And you'll see as a kid, I had this huge smile, and then over time, I lost my confidence.
Let Smile Direct Club give you a smile you'll love for 60% less than braces by sending invisible aligners direct to you. Plus, we straighten most smiles in an average of 6 months.
There wasn't any crazy appointments I had to make. I'd never even feel that there. And changing my smile was important to me. So I'm glad that I found Smile Direct Club.
Get started for 60% less at SmileDirectClub.com.
If you love your friends and family, give them a meal that will truly be appreciated. The Omaha Steaks Savings Celebration Package. Sold separately, this package is filled with $193 worth of great food for the combo price of just $49.99. That's 74% off on this limited time offer. The Omaha Steaks Savings Celebration Package includes 4 tender top sirloin steaks, 4 extra thick boneless pork chops, 4 oven-roasted chicken breasts, 4 classic juicy Omaha Steaks burgers, and 4 gourmet jumbo franks. Dessert is 4 caramel apple tartlets. Your order will be delivered straight to your home or the destination of your choice to enjoy with friends and family. As a special thanks from us to you, if you order right now, we'll include 4 additional Omaha Steaks burgers free. That's 8 total. You get it all, the Omaha Steaks Savings Celebration Package, a $193 value for just $49.99. Enjoy the lowest pricing of the season with the Savings Celebration Package from Omaha Steaks today.
Diamonds, their lowest prices ever. Certified half-carat rings just $675, 1 carat $17.90, and larger $29.50 per carat. Thousands of GIA diamonds at insane prices, plus over 50% savings on custom designs. Buy direct, the Jewelry Exchange.
QuickBooks introduces Rodney. He has a new business teaching lessons. Rodney wanted to know how his business was doing, so he got QuickBooks. It organizes all his accounts so he can see his bottom line. Ah, that's a profit. Know where you stand instantly. Visit QuickBooks.com.
My lower back was just crushing with pain.
From my back pocket to my foot was like a lava flow down that sciatic nerve.
Wherever your chronic pain is, it can be managed from here with Quell. From this optimal stimulation point, the revolutionary Quell technology accesses the central nervous system. It sends precise neural pulses to the brain that trigger your body's own natural pain blockers. Quell is 100% drug-free. FDA cleared, and doctor recommended. Best of all, for 4 out of 5 people, it works.
And I had this aha moment that I don't feel pain anywhere in my body. Anywhere.
I'm a happier, healthier guy. My whole life's turned around.
Quell is easy to use and up to 10 times more powerful than ordinary TENS devices. It's strong enough to deliver widespread relief just by wearing it here. Reclaim your life from chronic pain. You'll get free shipping and a 60-day trial, so there's no risk if you order today.
Call 1-800-460-5138 or go to quelltv.com.
Tempur-Pedic's superior pressure-relieving comfort and our 90-day complete satisfaction trial will make tossing and turning a thing of the past. Plus, during our Veterans Day savings event, save up to $500 on select adjustable mattress sets. Find your exclusive retailer at Tempur-Pedic.com.
NBA All-Star, business magnate, and the world's biggest mama's boy, Shaq reveals his personal and professional treasures. Plus, Harvey goes one-on-one with the basketball legend, all in the next Objectified, Shaquille O'Neal, Sunday on Fox News Channel.
Welcome back. There are the toys that could be worse than getting actual coal in your stocking. The World Against Toys Causing Harm group releasing its annual list of the most dangerous toys just before the holidays. They always do this. Well, on the list, a Spider-Man drone with rotating blades that can hit your eye or your child in the eye, and a Wonder Woman sword that could cause blunt force injuries, and fidget spinners. It is the toy that took the world by storm, but could be a choking hazard. And a security warning for parents who own the new iPhone X. Your children may be able to break into it using your Face ID technology. One mom was taken by surprise after her 10-year-old son picked up her phone with just a glance and then got right into it.
I'm going to unlock this phone using this handsome face. Ta-da! It's unlocked.
Well, Apple says they have noted the safety feature may not be 100% accurate. And what once seemed like science fiction is now a reality. You can now get a clone of your pet, but it will cost you a pretty penny. Viagen, a U.S. company, offers you a duplicate of your animal's genetic DNA, and it starts with a skin sample and an animal surrogate. 6 to 7 months later, you've got a brand new puppy or kitten. And dog clones cost $50,000. Cat clones are a little bit cheaper at $25,000. What do you think about that? And catching up on sleep over the weekend may not be good for you after all. According to the American Heart Association, women get more sleep on the weekend, and that can result in heart problems later in life. That's because you aren't counteracting the harmful effects of not getting enough sleep during the rest of the week. We'll try weeks on end. Well, Fox and Friends First continues right now. I'll see you here tomorrow. Bye.
It is Wednesday, November 15th, and a Fox News alert. A serial killer strikes again. Fears reignited this morning in a Florida community after a fourth person is mysteriously murdered. What we just learned about a potential suspect.
Let's stop picking winners and losers. Let's get rid of a lot of these discrete loopholes and just use that money to lower rates across the board.
Tax reform on the table. The House moving full steam ahead with President Trump's proposal. How Republicans are now planning to sneak in an Obamacare repeal.
Plus, a popular party game taking aim at President Trump.
Countries seem to be hanging by a thread. But then, a small card game company from Chicago, Illinois, known as Cards Against Humanity, launched a bold campaign to save America.
Now they had to get political. The move Cards Against Humanity just made in an attempt to stop the border wall. Fox and Friends First continues right now.
Good Wednesday morning to you. A live look outside of our building there in Midtown Manhattan. Quiet start, 5 o'clock on the East Coast. You're watching Fox and Friends First. I'm Jillian Mealy.
And I'm Rob Schmidt. Thanks for waking up early with us today. It is full steam ahead for House Republicans just days before they plan to vote on President Trump's tax plan.
This as the Senate announces a big change to their plan. This is making Democrats furious. Griff Jenkins joins us live to break it down. Good morning, Griff.
Good morning, Jillian Robb. Big change indeed. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell sending shockwaves through Capitol Hill yesterday when he announced Senate Republicans are taking another swing at killing off Obamacare.
Yeah, we're optimistic that inserting the individual mandate repeal would be helpful, and that's obviously the view of the Senate Finance Committee Republicans as well.
But House Republicans set to vote on their tax bill tomorrow will not include the Obamacare repeal. At an exclusive town hall last night on Fox, Speaker Paul Ryan explained why.
Obviously, we're in favor of repealing the individual mandate, but we didn't want to needlessly complicate the passage of tax reform, given we did not have the votes before to get this through the Senate. So we want to see the Senate go first and see if they can get that done, and then we'll discuss whether or not it gets included at the end.
The other problem for Ryan is that House leadership has already whipped the bill, meaning they are confident they have the votes to pass. Adding anything new now could jeopardize that passage, as House Democrats are uniformly opposed to it.
This tax plan is predicated on a budget that does violence to our country's future, as well as to the well-being of America's working families.
But Ryan disagrees, saying it offers real opportunity.
So what we're trying to achieve here is get out of the slow growth we've had for the last decade, get us real economic growth so that you can come out of college with an opportunity.
So here's where it stands. The Senate bill is expected to pass out of committee this week.
Statements on contact between the Trump campaign and Russian officials.
You're accusing me of lying about that? I say that's not fair, Mr. Jeffries. I would say that's not fair, colleagues.
As of pay for play.
I don't quite know what the hesitation is at the Department of Justice. There are several facts that no one debates. Fact number one, you have the Kazakh uranium minister Mukhtar Zakashev in a 2010 video deposition describing in great detail how Bill and Hillary Clinton shook him down and shook down Kazakh officials to compel them to give uranium assets to Frank Justra, who is the founder of Uranium One. We now have this whistleblower that's come forward who reportedly has audio recordings of Russian officials talking about using bribery to get favors from the Clintons, giving donations to the Clinton Foundation. The third part of this ingredient is we have the actual flow of money, tens of millions of dollars to the Clintons as this deal is going down.
All right, a Fox News alert now. Americans told to shelter in place as troops and armored vehicles patrol the streets of Zimbabwe. Tension surging there around longtime President Robert Mugabe. The army claiming that this patrol was not a military takeover of the country and the president is indeed safe. The president of Zimbabwe, the vice president there, was just removed after an apparent plot to put Mugabe's wife in power.
New information this morning on why a gunman opened fire at 7 different locations, including a school, killing 4 people. California police say officials locked down Rancho Tehama Elementary School after hearing gunshots nearby. The shooter, identified by police as Kevin Neal, then rammed his car into a fence and opened fire on the building before trying to break in. Thankfully, though, it was locked. He then drove his car, shooting at people on the street before being shot and killed by police. But it all started as a dispute with a neighbor.
This is an individual that armed himself I think with the motive of getting even with his neighbors, and when it went that far, he just went on a rampage.
10 people, including 2 children, are hurt.
All right, Senate hopeful Roy Moore remaining defiant against sexual misconduct allegations despite losing the GOP's support.
What do you think I'm going to do? Why do you think they're giving me this trouble? Why do you think I'm being harassed by media and by people pushing forward allegations?
Well, that's his side of the story. 5 women, though, claim the Alabama Senate candidate sexually harassed them. The RNC now cutting ties with Moore, pulling out of its fundraising agreement. But a poll by Fox 10, which is our local affiliate in Alabama, shows Moore ahead of opponent Doug Jones, the Democrat, by about 6 points right now. 8% of voters say they are undecided.
Secretary of State Rex Tillerson landing in Myanmar just hours ago. He's meeting with the country's top leaders to discuss the country's humanitarian crisis. The government there accused of ethnic cleansing by military force, causing more than 600,000 Muslim citizens to flee. Some U.S. senators are calling for economic sanctions and travel restrictions.
All right, 9 minutes after the hour right now, and hours of testimony, still no definitive answer on whether or not a special counsel will be appointed to look into Hillary Clinton.
We've been calling for 3.5 months for an investigation, and this is what makes the American people sick. This notion that there is one set of rules for the Clintons and another set of rules for everybody else.
All right, Congressman Matt Gaetz demanding answers for the American people. He joins us live coming up next.
The PC police are at it again. There's a new mascot at Marist College. Say goodbye to Shooter and hello to Frankie the Fox.
Plus, move over Dwayne Johnson. It is official. Blake Shelton is people's sexiest man alive. So what does the country music superstar think about this news? We'll tell you.
Hey girl, put that body all on me like I hit the lottery. Everything you do to me, honey.
Did your senator or congressman get elected by talking tough on the national debt? Will they stay true to their words? Or did they promise you one thing only to do another? Right now, Congress is talking about tax cuts that will add trillions to our national debt and hurt our economy. It's time to tell Congress, don't borrow more money from China and leave more debt to our kids. Keep your word. Tax cuts shouldn't add to the national debt.
Holiday decorating is hard work, cold weather, thorny bushes, and the same boring stuff year after year.
Well, not anymore. Introducing the amazing Window Wonderland, the revolutionary new projector that transforms regular windows into dazzling displays. Now go from ordinary to extraordinary this holiday season. It's easy. Just place the projector near any window. Add the adjustable Easy Fit screen. Then select a built-in movie and start the show. Wow, the magic of Christmas in stunning fashion. Thanks to this adjustable stand and one-touch switch, Window Wonderland works with any shape or size window while you stay comfortable inside. Celebrate this season with jolly gingerbread men, charming choo-choo trains, adorable puppies, happy snowmen, and so much more. Styled like a classic Hollywood camera, Window Wonderland uses advanced projection technology to create bright and colorful displays just like the pros.
Our house looks amazing, and the kids love it.
Window Wonderland comes with a lifetime guarantee, so you can stay warm and cozy inside while the magic always plays outside your home year after year. Call now and get Window Wonderland with 6 built-in holiday movies and viewing screen for just $59.99, and we'll ship it all for free. But wait, call right now and we'll include 6 spooky Halloween movies absolutely free. There's Chainsaw Madness, Scary Zombies, Creepy Eyeballs, and more. That's 12 movies in all. But hold everything. You'll get a deluxe audio upgrade free. Just connect any speaker and bring your movies to life with music and sound effects. But there's still more. You can double the offer and receive a second set. Just pay a separate fee. Quantities are limited, so get your Window Wonderland and free shipping today. Call now.
Call 1-800-869-5917 to get your Window Wonderland. Call or visit windowwonderland.com. So call 1-800-869-5917. Order now.
BP engineered a fleet of 32 brand new ships with advanced technology so we can make sure oil and gas get where they need to go safely. Because safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better.
My digestive system used to make me feel sluggish, but now I take Metamucil every day. It traps and removes the waste that weighs me down, so I feel lighter. Try Metamucil and begin to feel what lighter feels like.
Do you have the authority today, subject to your recusal, to appoint a special counsel to investigate the Uranium One matter?
I believe I do. I have the authority, yes, and the duty and the responsibility to make that decision.
Congressman Matt Gaetz putting Attorney General Jeff Sessions in the hot seat.
Yeah, the Florida representative demanding answers on the probe into Hillary Clinton's ties to Russia and the Uranium One deal. And he joins us live this morning. Congressman, thanks so much for coming on today. The first thing I want to say is that certainly Mr. Sessions yesterday showed his independence from the Republican Party and from the president. But what did you make of his answer when he said that just because this looks like something doesn't mean it necessarily has to get investigated?
Well, what is it going to take? I mean, we've got circumstances where everything from Loretta Lynch going on the tarmac and meeting with Bill Clinton to the Fusion GPS dossier being paid for by the Democratic Party and then potentially reimbursed by the FBI. And then this Uranium One deal, which Fox has covered really with great vigor in a circumstance where uranium assets in the United States are potentially being used and owned by the Russians. And we had Hillary Clinton silent during the CFIUS process. And so with all of this smoke, we think there's fire, and we think that the Attorney General ought to use the authority that he said he had, because we should not apply a different standard to Secretary Clinton than we're applying to President Trump just because she lost the election. I mean, losing an election is not an immunity deal. You still have to be accountable for the crimes and other bad acts of the prior administration.
Representative Gaetz, I think a lot of people in this country are frustrated with the lack of answers, so to speak, and I'm sure you guys are as well. How frustrating is it for you when you go up there and you're trying to get these questions answered, and for a lot of the times you're not?
Well, for 3.5 months, the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee and 20 members of the Judiciary Committee have been calling for a special counsel because so many of the people currently at the FBI and Department of Justice would be witnesses in such a case. They had roles to play in these circumstances that led to bizarre results and really bizarre collusion with the Russians on everything from the Uranium One deal to the Fusion GPS discredited dossier. And so with so many at the FBI and the Department of Justice conflicted, we believe a special counsel is appropriate. And the question for the Attorney General is, what are you waiting for? We have a mountain of evidence, and we need to see action quickly. Otherwise, the American people start to question whether or not there really is this double standard where we're subjecting President Trump to scrutiny that the Clintons have never been subjected to.
Right. And I certainly agree that this thing, when you look at all the angles of this story, it certainly stinks. Let me ask you something. I mean, Mr. Trump got his own investigation into Russia. Do you think there's more smoke on Hillary Clinton and allegations against her than there was against President Trump?
Well, we're 6 months into an actual investigation of President Trump, and all that seems to exist is that you've got bizarre financial transactions from like years before Donald Trump even contemplated running for president. Meanwhile, you've got the DNC admitting to paying for this intelligence document to Fusion GPS, where we were essentially coordinating with Russians. The DNC was coordinating with Russians to discredit the president both before and after his election. So that alone seems to be a stronger nexus to the Russians. The Uranium One deal is a true financial nexus to the Russians. That's a nexus that doesn't exist with President Trump or any member of his team. Look, I'm not saying that there shouldn't continue to be investigations of Russia's meddling in the 2016 election. Congress has many of those investigations ongoing now. My real concern is that we don't seem to apply the same scrutiny to Secretary Clinton that people are applying to President Trump, and that's not fair. That reinforces this theory that there's one set of rules for the Clintons and another set of rules for the rest of us.
All right, and it seems like a lot of the scrutiny that we saw yesterday anyway, especially from a lot of Democrats who were there asking Attorney General Sessions questions, seems to be the focus is trying to catch him in a lie.
You know, I don't remember every single meeting I've had years ago. That seems to be the, the standard that they want to hold Attorney General Sessions to. And I think he did a really good job pushing back on Democrats who, were trying to say things were inconsistent when in reality, there's just a different recollection of events at different times. And frequently witnesses need their recollection refreshed. That happens in trials all the time. And so I thought he did a really good job there. And look, the Attorney General's doing a great job in a lot of areas, from immigration to free speech on college campuses, but for some reason he's dragging his feet on the appointment of a special counsel, and it's leading to this inequitable application of justice. And there is no rule of law when you don't apply the law equally, and here it's not so, because you don't have the same scrutiny for Secretary Clinton that you seem to have for President Trump.
Yeah, well, it certainly seems that way, and it could be just because she simply didn't win, and she's not really that important right now. So we'll see how this turns out. Congressman, thanks so much for getting up early this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
In other news this morning, Rahm Emanuel accused of helping a now indicted former Democratic IT aide. According to a newspaper in Pakistan, Chicago's mayor intervened while serving as Obama's chief of staff to get Imran Awan cleared of land fraud charges overseas years ago. He is currently charged with bank fraud while working for Debbie Wasserman Schultz and other Democrats on the Hill.
Free legal help for illegal immigrants, courtesy of you, the taxpayer. 11 new cities and counties now joining the list of jurisdictions across the country providing legal defense for undocumented immigrants. The Safe City initiative, launched by the nonprofit group the Vera Institute, is aimed at helping those at risk of deportation with tax dollars. Yesterday, we showed a map that actually mislabeled Oakland County, Michigan, instead of Oakland County, California. We want to tell you that Oakland County, Michigan is not one of these cities.
A Fox News alert: fear in Florida after a fourth person is mysteriously murdered.
Unfortunately, there will be one more family today that will be notified of a family member that was killed in cold blood.
The brand new clues in the hunt for a serial killer.
And the national anthem protest goes from the gridiron to the hardwood. One NBA coach says players who protest are patriots. Carly Shimkus here with the comments flooding in from social media. Good morning, Carly.
Was the prototype like?
Now at Men's Warehouse, save up to 60% on designer suits, plus buy one, get one free on select items. This November, join Men's Warehouse in donating to fight men's health issues.
Diamonds at their lowest price in years. Half-carat solitaires are now $3.99, 1-carat $7.90, 2-carat $9.50 per carat, plus 1-carat studs $3.99. Insane prices on thousands of GIA diamonds and designer rings. Buy direct, the Jewelry Exchange.
Previewing the critical tax vote. Is reform a sure thing, or could the bill crumble in the House? Doug Collins breaks down the GOP's numbers on the next Fox News at Night.
My wife and my father were infected with an early ransomware. This was personal. PCmatic used a foreign-made blacklist. We built the only whitelist antivirus to close the security holes in the blacklist right here in the United States. We won the industry's most difficult test. My kid's school paid an $8,500 ransom. Now it's more personal. PCmatic Pro was launched to protect schools, businesses, and government agencies. We achieved the first perfect score on the Virus Bulletin RAP test. We built malicious script blocking on top of PCmatic's whitelist. This year we've had 1 infection. Our goal is 0 infections, and for the best antivirus to be made in America. The lower the infections, the less ransoms paid. Defeat ransomware. PCmatic, America's antivirus.
NFL athletes who take a knee during the anthem are actually patriots?
Yeah, those words coming from Detroit Pistons, the NBA team, their head coach, Stan Van Gundy. Carly Shimkus with Fox News Headlines 24/7. Sirius XM 115, talking about why an NBA coach is talking about NFL players.
Yeah, that's right. The NFL's national anthem protest is now bleeding into the NBA. Detroit Pistons coach Stan Van Gundy wrote an op-ed saying players who kneel during the national anthem are actually should be considered patriotic because they're protesting to make the country a better place. Now, here's a direct quote from Mr. Van Gundy. He says, these athletes and many others are risking future contracts and endorsement opportunities to speak out on issues of racial injustice because they feel duty-bound to do so. These are patriots of the highest order. Well, that op-ed has created a whole bunch of buzz and a lot of backlash online. One Twitter user says Van Gundy wants to be the one who destroys the NBA like Goodell destroys the NFL. And Andy on Twitter says Stan Van Gundy does not have a clue about patriotism. So people are saying, gosh, just stick to the sport still. This debate is still continuing, of course, on into today.
What is Mark Zuckerberg talking about these days?
Well, listen, he just went on a tour of the country and revealed what he found most surprising when he was on the road. Take a listen.
The biggest surprise by far
has been the extent of the opioid issues. And it is really saddening to see.
Well, CNBC is pointing out that drug dealers actually use Facebook to sell opioids. Facebook released a statement, though, saying that they rely on users to police their site, saying anyone can report content to us if they think it violates our standards. People can flag pages, profiles, individual content, and/or comments to us for review. A lot of people on social media, though, say that Mark Zuckerberg should know what's going on, at least on his own site. Vicky says this is what happens when you live in an alternate universe. And Betty on Twitter also says he has had his head in the sand. So Facebook continuing to face criticism for not being able to police their own site.
And I guess people still read People magazine.
I like People magazine. You know, well, you might not be their.
It's just been around forever.
Well, they just released their 2017 Sexiest Man of the Year. Do you think that he deserves the honor? Take a listen to this.
I'll hang the pictures, you hang the stars. You pick the paint, I'll pick a guitar. Sing you a song out there with the crickets and the frogs.
All right, yeah, there you go. He's got some swag. Somebody on Twitter says, I have waited for this to happen for 10 years. Carol also says, I must say the older he gets, the more handsome he gets. Blake Shelton responded to that saying, you must be running out of people.
I feel like that's a typical Blake Shelton comment.
Yeah, right? Can't you just hear him saying
We
that?
love that. All right, Carly, thanks so
Carly.
much. All right, 27 minutes after the hour, 6 foreigners with ties to terror slipping through a system in this country for immigration, the same way that the man who plowed down pedestrians on a New York City bike path did.
It won't be the first time the left accuse us of what they're actually doing. Look, we don't know if this happened for sure, but everything points that way. And Ron's exactly right. If one major party is working with financing and working with the FBI to go after the other major party, taking a National Enquirer type document, turning it into an intelligence document to spy on Americans associated with President Trump's campaign, that is as wrong as it gets. And again, if that doesn't warrant investigation, if that doesn't warrant a special counsel to look into it, I do not know what does.
To me, Congressman Gates, it is this serious. Are we going to have in America today a dual justice system? Or are we going to have equal justice under the law? Because if I deleted 33,000 emails that were subpoenaed by Congress, if I used BleachBit, if I destroyed devices with a hammer, how does the FBI director Mueller at the time know Russian agents of Putin are trying to corner the uranium market? We have to import uranium. We don't have enough. 9 people sign off on this thing. Then they got the transfer of money with people involved back to the Clintons. And then they funded a phony dossier full of Russian lies to hijack an election. And now we know she already hijacked a primary. The poor Bernie Sanders. He got ripped off. It was rigged from day one.
Sean, you're absolutely right, and this is what makes the American people sick. This notion that there is one set of rules for the Clintons and another set of rules for everybody else. And you look at this investigation. When we look at this investigation, you've got the very people who may have been involved in keeping information from Congress, keeping information from the CFIUS process, but they're in the process of investigating the President of the United States. They're undermining our democracy now when they very well may be witnesses to the actual collusion with one of the participants in the 2016 election, Hillary Clinton.
This better happen. Last word, Congressman DeSantis.
Well, I think everything you laid out, Sean, Uranium One, we are working hard in the Congress. We're bringing the informant in. We're going to get his documents. We're going full bore on that. We will get the stuff for Fusion GPS. They're going to have to turn that over. And then finally, Comey and his memos and how he exonerated Hillary. We're getting all of that information, and we can't let up.
All right, guys, thank you. We're not letting up. All right, when we come back, we will continue to give you news and information and facts you can't get anywhere else, sadly, because the news media in this country is so abusively biased. We'll check in with Peter Schweitzer. He first broke the Uranium One story. Sebastian Gorka will weigh in. Tonight, I have a very serious, important announcement about Roy Moore as we continue.
Hi.
Well, honey, I said sweet potatoes.
Yes, you did. I forgot the shrimp. Shrimp and apple pie.
Dad likes pecan.
Oh, well, in that case, I can.
Love to drive? Visit your Infinity retailer for leases starting at $289 a month during the Start Your Own Legacy winter sales event. Infinity. Empower the drive.
Your call is now first in line and will be answered by the next available representative. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for holding. How may I assist you?
Hi, yes. We were just broken into, and we need a home security system.
Oh, sorry, wrong department. Please hold.
The best home security isn't hard to get. With SimpliSafe, you can get comprehensive, professionally monitored home security online without the hold time or runaround. Anyone can set up SimpliSafe in an hour. There are no tools needed. Just open the box, plug it in, and your family's protected around the clock. Each SimpliSafe system is a thoughtfully assembled security arsenal. From entry and motion sensors to a high-definition security camera, you'll have everything you need to keep your family safe. If someone tries to break in, you can see what happened right on your phone. Our monitoring center will call to make sure you're safe and immediately dispatch police to your home.
All clear. Alarm must have scared him off.
SimpliSafe's professional security is so reliable, it was named Central Station of the Year. And with SimpliSafe, 24/7 protection is just $15 a month. There are no long-term contracts or commitments, so you're free to start or cancel monitoring when you need to. CNET called SimpliSafe Comprehensive, Easy-to-Use Protection, naming it Editor's Choice for home security. And it has over 30,000 five-star reviews on Google. Order today and get free shipping, plus a free keychain remote. Each system comes with a 60-day risk-free guarantee. You'll feel safe at home or your money back. Start protecting your home today. Go to GetSimpliSafe.com.
Have you ever seen something so beautiful that all you could say was, wow? Or walked on the world's best beach? At a place that made you feel like you were in a dream, where family comes first and fun is measured one ride at a time.
You're all about a good life.
Where you're served like royalty, but treated like family. Beaches, Turks, and Caicos, where anything is possible because everything is included. Wow! Get up to 65% off. Call 1-800-BEACHES.
Santa set down Max's gifts by a tree, but stopping at Quick Jack thought, what could this be? A portable car lift with self-locking bars that fits at the lift points of most trucks and cars? Push-button controls make it easy to lift. This Quick Jack should be my own holiday gift. So he slipped it back slow and snuck off with the jack. And nothing was merry that morning for Max. But at QuickJack.com, we have savings for you. Enter Holiday Steal and your wish will come true.
Attention men with frequent urges to urinate. Super Beta Prostate has ingredients clinically tested to help reduce urges to urinate and waking at night to urinate. That's why it's the #1 best-selling prostate supplement in America. Don't wait. Try non-prescription Super Beta Prostate.
This holiday season, families near you need your help. Visit redcross.org now.
All right, as I said at the top of the show, the left is scared out of their minds about the possibility of further investigation or special counsel investigation into the Uranium One deal. You got hosts over at NBC, MSNBC. They're wondering where the call for a special counsel is coming from. You're going to love this. Take a look.
If Jeff Sessions is not involved in this, does that mean someone else at the DOJ right now is pushing this Obama uranium review to mollify President Trump or, I don't know, President Hannity or somebody else's political agenda? Or is Jeff Sessions involved and violating that pledged recusal?
President Hannity. I like the sound of that. It just for a second, it sounds good. No, it would be the fact that America imports uranium because we have a short supply. We don't have enough. Why would we ever give it away? And remember, we were promised it would never go overseas. It went to Canada, it went to Europe, and it likely went to Asia. Joining us now, the man who got this started, author of the book, Clinton Cash, Peter Schweitzer, Fox News contributor, former deputy assistant to the president, Sebastian Gorka. Peter, you got this started. You watched this unfold today. I want to get your initial reaction. I also want to talk about, I want you to give us the money aspect to this as it relates to the Clintons, who paid who, when, and where, and how active and involved were they in this deal?
Well, look, Sean, I've always felt that the evidence is very clear, and I don't quite know what the hesitation is at the Department of Justice. There are several facts that no one debates. Fact number one, you have the Kazakh uranium minister Mukhtar Zakashev in a 2010 video deposition describing in great detail how Bill and Hillary Clinton shook him down and shook down Kazakh officials to compel them to give uranium assets to Frank Justra, who is the founder of Uranium One. Nobody disputes that. That is clear. We now have this whistleblower that's come forward who reportedly has audio recordings of Russian officials